Hey, Marco, you ready for the totally awesome, coolest show ever?
I forgot the intro, bro. Something about the rocket cooking something, bro. Yeah, but I'm ready. Do it, man. Been a long week. Hit it. Do you smell what the rock is cooking? There you go. Do it, Pete. Oh, how embarrassing was that? I forgot the intro.
Jesus. Live television, folks.
There you go. It's been a leak. It's been a week. So, hey, Pete, what do we got going on this week? This week on this show?
This week on this show, well, I think we got news. We got a tier list. Getting back to some more XMen characters. We got a top 5 covers. Not the top 5 variants, but just the top 5 covers. This time, I think you got a C list.
I do.
Some pickups.
We do. Yeah, I was at a con. I was at Gem City.
And maybe a story.
Story time with Marco. I was surprised. The feedback with story time with Marco. I don't know. We'll have to pick one, but it was cool, man. It's cool that people enjoyed it.
Yeah. I enjoyed it a lot, so I made an intro for it. So I can't wait to play it later.
That's good. Yeah. I definitely. Good. I definitely went to Gem City. We're going to talk about it probably at the end of news, but it honestly was probably one of the best cons I'd been to in a while. Like
you had a nice haul from the pictures that I've seen already.
We did, and we're going to show some pictures of some of the guys. You know, the Detroit boys were out there. We were pulling some stuff, and I got to go with a friend. I guess I can call him old friend now because we've been comic book friends, real friends for like 6 to 8 years now. A guy by the name of Sleepy John. I don't know if people know who Yanni or Sleepy John is, but got to go with him and one of the Detroit boys down there. And oh my God, we didn't actually leave the con. Like we had a whole plan of hitting up comic book stores and stuff. We didn't leave the con. I mean, till drink at night, but besides that, so
yeah, it didn't look like you had to. Looked like there was plenty there to be had,
dude. All right, well, we'll tell you if we got deals or not too. I also have a choice for that because when we do show offs, I kind of didn't clear everything. I left 2 boxes, and we'll let you choose 1 or 2. So the chat will be involved with that. As you know, this show is very heavily chat orientated. The tier list, we move stuff up, help you judge us it out. We definitely like you guys in the chat. We keep it live and happy, and then we'll have you guys voting for that. But hey, Pete, let's start them off with a little bit of news this week. Let's see what's going on.
All right, let's go with the news. I was toying with the idea of whether I could quickly put a shirt, tie, and suit jacket on in a span of 15 seconds while that intro played, but I don't know if I can do it just yet. But yes, the paper shuffles. There you go.
All right. Well, first off, we want to say what's going on to Comic Man Andy, who's in the chat. Make sure you're checking out what he's doing over there. We also got Ruben.
So close to 1,000.
Did Ruben win?
Go subscribe to his channel because he's so close.
Yeah, you gotta get up to thousands of magic number in this world of YouTubies. Did Ruben win something this week?
Not this week.
Not that Ruben. Well, we might have to have another free giveaway. Make sure we get up to 1,000 subs on this channel so we can give Ruben something. We got Chad. What's going on? Tony, how you doing? It's good to see everybody. Oh, Hartman's in too. Great to see you. Let's go with what's going on with news. What do we got in the news there, Pete?
All right. Well, let's see what we got for our weekly update. Well, the last couple of weeks been starting off with the Black Widow box office report, but that's 3 weeks old now. So, but I kind of like the idea of covering the box office because I like movies and I don't know, I'm a movie geek in that way. So I always check box office reports. So this week I wanted to see how Snake Eyes was doing. None too good.
Now, here, listen. This is the thing with Snake Eyes. Neither one of us has seen it. Obviously, I was spending all my time hiding from the sun with a bunch of smelly men. Or I went to a con this weekend, as they call it. And Pete had to take down a tree. But the trailer just was not it.
Not like a lot, but I did want to see it. It's just, I don't know. I just don't know if this is worth going back out into the movie, venturing to the movie theater for it.
Spending $80 on popcorn to go watch.
If it was on if it was on like Point of View or whatever on demand, like I could watch it at home, I would have paid the $30 and watched it at home or whatever it would have been. But there was no option for that, so I couldn't.
So let's see what we got. Why Snake Eyes missed the mark? It was number 2 against the Lost Island show.
Yeah, the Shyamalan, M. Night. Yeah. Oh, you age real fast on this beach, which I'm sure is an interesting concept, but come on. That's sad. It's sad when Snake Eyes can't beat that. But
see, this is what I'm saying. These are the domestic box office numbers. By the way, Widow came in, did 11.6.
Yeah, still hanging.
11.6 for week 3. That's pretty good, by the way. Just so
in this environment, yeah.
I think honestly, for what type of movie it was, a C-list character, there's been one. Snake Eyes, that's terrible. Yep. An old is wow. These numbers are bad across the board. Yeah. So I think a little preemptive with the we're going back to the theaters, guys. It doesn't look like they're. I think they have more problems than to yell at.
Yeah, it's not just oh well, you guys with the on demand or Disney Plus Premium, you're ruining theater. No, they didn't ruin anything here.
Space Jam did 9.6, and it's a free movie on HBO, isn't it?
Yeah, but it still dropped below Black Widow, which it beat Black Widow last week.
It's free. You can't get Black Widow free. It's free at 9.6 go.
Yeah, it's free, and I still haven't watched it.
A lot of movie theaters have zero to complain about at this point, I think.
Yeah. It's just the product's just not really good right now. Just not really that enticing.
Hartman, did you see the Snake Eyes? Joe, what's going on, by the way? Yeah, you don't have to shell out major movie to make it. I don't know. I think this is always a video type movie for me anyways. I don't think, and I like G.I. Joe. I still have all my 3 tubs of Black & Deckers full of G.I. Joe figures and all their accessories and everything else. Probably the toy I played the most with as a child. And I have zero interest in going to the movie theater and watching Snake Eyes.
See, I did. I had interest. I just still couldn't do it, though. Just couldn't do it. I don't know.
You went to
Delta variants and all these spikes across the country get you a little nervous. I'm like, I don't know if I really want to go.
So Hartman actually even went, a guy that watches our show, this is our demographic, went to see the Shyamalan movie over the Snake Eyes movie, which I think is probably part of the problem. Yeah, and Joe hasn't either, too. I think it's kind of like when you do whatever you do. You know what I mean? It's like, it is what it is. So.
Well, so I guess the nostalgia is just not there for G.I. Joe. Right.
I think it is. I think they've just, like the last couple movies were no offense, but the last couple G.I. Joe movies
have been bad.
Yeah, besides the cartoon, were watch at home movies. They really were. And I don't think now, I think people have got that. We already had the Snake Eyes story once, too, in that. Which Snake Eyes in the Storm Shadow story wasn't so bad in that movie. I know people are going to chew me up for that, but like it wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad, I think, as some people say it if you go back and watch it at home. Yeah. But yeah, like Hartman says, I wouldn't pay for it. And I'm on his look. I'm right sitting next to him on his couch. I'm not paying to watch it. I'll see it when it comes on. So I get it.
Well, enough on Snake Eyes then. What's your nostalgia feelings for Ghostbusters movie coming?
So I'm going to actually do something shocking here where I'm usually like, nostalgia doesn't bite us that much. And I'm going to explain. This is the one where I'm like, what? Why can't, like, I think you're missing the mark. Somebody in our comments last week put up something and they said, I don't want to sound whatever, like a curmudgeon or whatever. Yeah. But like they changed around Taskmaster to female. And that wasn't even like the problem. But like, there's something just off, right? In the Black Widow movie. And then you put something pretty eloquent and underneath, which is kind of, I think, a point of view is like, it's not that they're changing the look of a character or the demographics of a character. The problem is they're changing the core of the characters.
Yeah, and they're fundamentally changing. Yeah.
The core of those Ghostbuster characters were Saturday Night Live, live on your couch, goofballs, all of them across the board. They were really good and really talented in that. Yeah.
They'll be back. All the ones that are left. Here are the toys.
Like 2 left. Isn't there like 2 alive still?
Well,
Aykroyd's barely alive. And did Murray survive the zombie apocalypse? I think he did. But
he did. He didn't make it through the girls Ghostbuster movie though.
This is the one where I have a little. Oh, he didn't. I never watched that one, so maybe I'll catch that on.
It's not terrible.
But that's why I'm saying like the core, and I know like that. It's like, yeah, I know that at least the female version of it, they try to use comedians for it. This one is like, oh, your grandfather didn't tell you. Those kids, I might be too old. They don't seem funny. And Ghostbusters.
Well, the one kid's kind of funny in Stranger Things.
But fun. No, he's not.
Finn.
Nah, he's not.
Eh.
And he needs to go get some light too.
He looks like he could be like
he looks
Sigourney
like
Weaver and Bill Murray's like.
he looks
offspring,
he looks like he's in Twilight. Is that the vampire movie
like
Twilight with the shiny skin?
Oh well, you want to go Twilight, sure.
Yeah, that's him. He would be great for a Twilight movie. Not so good for Ghostbuster. But no, I mean, I think you need that like slapstickiness, and it just doesn't look like that. I know our friends are excited. We've got some friends, and they're going to kill me for this. They're very excited about this, and I'm just like, yeah, which is good because hopefully it'll surprise me and turn out to be phenomenal.
That's my hope as well. I don't have super high hopes for it. I mean, I like Paul Rudd, but I feel like, well, we're just going to use Paul Rudd because I like Paul Rudd.
Ruben says the same thing. It doesn't look like they want to be funny, and that's what I want you to be scary and funny. Like that was the weird thing about Ghostbusters. They made it a little bit like creepy, right? It was campy, creepy, funny, and it's hard to get that again. I don't think the female movie quite caught on to that. And this one just seems, we'll see.
Yeah.
First trailer,
but we'll see. And if you want to look at comics, IDW comics are probably the better ones, I think, for this, because while there were older comics, they were all based like on the cartoon, like the real Ghostbusters cartoon. So if you kind of want to follow the characters from the movie, I think more of the IDW would be your speed. And they had a bunch of cool variants too. Throughout this one, I did on Chasing Ghosts.
Joe, you think he does? Because from that trailer,
yes.
I mean, hey, look, he ain't his dad. That's all I'm gonna say.
By the way, did you know he was in the second movie?
The kid?
The kid, Jason Reitman, Ivan Reitman's son. He was the kid who said, no, you guys are full of crap. Like, I didn't know that was him. I saw that today. And I never made that connection. At the He-Man party.
Like, Opie's daughter direct something. And I get it.
Yeah, she directed Star Wars. Mando.
Yeah, the one episode that's... I mean, hey.
No, and then she did another one in the next season, I think.
Yeah.
I brought her back. But still, that was, again, Reitman's kid was at the party where they were all cheering for He-Man. He-Man, which brings us to He-Man.
No, something that was so
have it.
This
I did
was
not plan it that way.
I am the anti-clickbait master. I hate these guys that are out there, and it's just a clickbait title, and they've never even seen anything. They don't know anything, but they know because there's this program you could use. You could see what the clickbait's gonna be. I'm not saying we use it. We use the same program. We do a little bit of clickbaity stuff with ours too. But they can see what it is. And though, and this thing from everybody, do you know He-Man's going to be a disaster? This is what I heard a month ago. It's going to be a disaster. At the comic book store today, do you know what they weren't saying? This is what they're saying. They're like, meh, yeah, all right, meh, all right, this, that. I had the worst. I said, didn't Tila in the first episode look like Kevin Smith's daughter? And somebody's like, you're an idiot. And I said, no, it looks like it does. It looks like, and if you give him a jacket, maybe he's man at arms. Like, I think it's because like yeah, that relationship. But no, I thought they're like, no, dude. They're like, no. And everybody's like, yeah, it was okay. I heard different things. I haven't watched all 5. Okay. I'm only a couple in. But with those, some people were saying the argument was that the discussion was that the back end of it was way better than the front end, than the first 2 episodes. And I said, well, then if that's the case, that back end is going to be pretty good because the front end wasn't bad.
It wasn't that bad. I'm with you. I haven't watched all of them yet either. Only a couple in.
Tony likes it. I think Hartman likes it. Everybody look, man. They set Moss Man on fire. Oh, spoiler alert! The worst character, and then they made the joke. Did you catch the joke that Skeletor said? This smells like pine needles. Did you catch that?
No,
yeah, because of the toy. Yeah, dude, I thought that was great, man. It was so cool because, like, dude, you had Beast, and he had the Beast Hammer Slammer on it, dude. They had so many characters. Those little buzzer control things, dude. I like nostalgia, and sometimes it doesn't have to be He-Man going He-Man, He-Man every 2 minutes. Like, how many times can you have Skeletor try to storm Castle Grayskull? I kind of like the spin. I thought it was a wee bit corny how they opened up the magic thing or whatever with it went through Skeletor, that portion of it.
Probably I got you. Doing the almost like a Battle of the 5 Armies. Like that's how he gets the work. Yeah, but I can't. And Hartman says he's like, I can't believe how much. Well, you got to remember, there's a narrative that people pushed because
They never saw it. And a lot of people who aren't watching it are seeing it. Even the naysayers that were calling me going, this thing's going to be straight hot trash. A lot of them are like, well, it's not trash because of X, Y, Z. Look, if you played with He-Man like I did, if you like He-Man, I don't know how, you saw it. I pulled out the bucket. I still got the original character. Shoot, at the con, I bought one of the Meteorite characters this week for my son to add on to the list because we play with the original characters. I thought it was good, and it brought a lot of, like, it just wasn't He-Man anymore, right? Like, and I know these characters become, like, Oracle was always kind of there, but you got to see a lot of the other characters. The guy with not many faces, but the other one, the one where the head goes. Triclops.
I told you I like Triclops.
I do too. Triclops was in there.
Like, you kept here listing me down on Triclops. I'm like, I love Triclops.
Yeah, because we try to put on a show, so don't ruin it here when I actually say it. But also too, they did the fake He-Man, fake man.
Oh,
Faker. Yeah. Oh, dude, that was so cool how they did Faker. I was like, oh no, they didn't just do him like in the cartoon where he's like the blue guy or whatever, looking fake. You know what I mean? They actually did it where it made sense. God, who else was? Everybody was there, dude.
Stinkor was in there in the second episode. I think he opened up the second episode.
Look, the bottom line is, to be honest with you, if I want to go see Skeletor try to break in to Castle Grayskull again and get pushed off by a cat that would cry and the Man-at-Arms would chase all the rest of the guys away, I just go back and watch the original cartoon, which I do. Like, that's what I do that anyway. So, like, to see a different spin and a lot of, like, the secondary, and come on, guys. Every week I do something called the C list. So I like characters that aren't the main character, right? I don't know, Pete. Are you on the same page with this?
Yeah, I'm not hating it. I'm not saying like I'm in love with it yet, but I'm just like, I'm not hating it. I've watched like an episode a day, like for my lunch break at home, working from home. Like, I'm gonna make my lunch. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna watch an episode of He-Man. And that's what I've done, and I'm happy to do it again tomorrow.
Yeah, the Skeletor. I thought the Skeletor was good. Is that what we're saying here? Everybody thinks the Skeletor was good. I thought the Skeletor was good.
The voice cast they got was pretty solid. That's it's Luke. Luke was Skeletor.
Yeah, I don't.
And Buffy is Teela.
Who? Buffy the Vampire Player?
Really? Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Really? That's who's Teela. Okay, very good. Yeah, no, I thought it was good. I think. Look, if you want to color it or whatever, fine. Here's what you do. You just, I'll give you my address. You package up all the original series, Master of the Universe toys you have. Feel free, send them to me. Because just let my kids play with them.
Marco will share some with me too. And if you're sending the toys, the original toys, send some of those original comics too, because the
mini comics.
Comics.
I pick these up. Keep telling them about this. It's gonna be harder and harder. I like to pick these mini comics up that came with the toys, dude. I love these things.
Well, when we do our news, I like to tie it a little bit to comics. So instead of doing like any regular He-Man comic thing, you know what? We'll mention the little mini comics that you can
find these in little packs
with the figures. Like this is the first one that came with He-Man, basically.
Was that the card? That one was the cardboard one too, right? Because later it got into like. Yeah.
But that's the true first, as my buddy Topher would say. I think. Mini comic.
True first. Okay. Well, I will tell you this: there's a lot of true firsts in there, including a couple people's first comic book, mini comic. It is a comic book. Art, which he probably knows that too. He probably said that too.
You brought that up the last time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I collect that. It's just the stuff that we go with. But yeah, those are cool. There's probably about 4 or 5 of them that are really getting to start to become really expensive. But the rest of them you can usually find, and like these are things you can find around at flea markets and stuff like that, which I always have fun collecting. So me,
fun things to hunt. Fun to hunt. Well, I still got more nostalgia for you because I can't let go of the 80s. So I saw today that
this might get me back to the movie theaters.
Coming back to the theaters on 2 days. Fathom Events, which I know AMC's by me hold like the Fathom event type stuff. So I don't know what theater chain by you might have it, but
I don't think it's a chain. I think I have to go to some of the independent guys. Like
what I mean is what chain might carry the Fathom event.
I looked it up because when you said it was Fathom Events, I looked it up and they were saying Ann Arbor, which go green, go white. I don't go to Ann Arbor, so I might have to sneak in there in a disguise. But yeah, maybe maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
That's cool. I love that. And this was, the G.I. Joe, the movie, The Simple War, that was, and there's one more cartoon movie that were just made for the movie theater. And it's amazing to watch them in the movie theater. And I'm glad they're redoing this.
Well, obviously G.I. Joe, and obviously
I think there's
Transformers here, but
Transformers.
Other one.
Was it the He-Man movie? No, He-Man didn't have a movie.
No, well, they had the live action with Dolph. The Dolph Lundgren one, which I'll still watch. When it comes on cable, I'll still watch that Masters of the
I love
Universe.
that one too. But this is great. Like, this is the G.I. Joe one. When I think about like watching cartoons, like I think it's kind of corny watching cartoons in movie theaters, but these two are like, they're it, man.
Yeah, I mean, not to spoil this 35 years later, but come on, like when Optimus died, come on.
So far, it was like early, man. It was like, we're gonna do the whole. You're like, wait a minute. Like, as a kid, I remember Optimus dying and go like, what kind of bull crap movie is this that I'm watching? The best guy died. They just did a great job.
Like Duke, I got over Duke pretty fast. I'm like, oh, that sucks. Duke got hit with a snake in the G.I. Joe movie, but. Come on.
But I think Flint had already been pushing Flint anyhow, so it didn't really.
Yeah. Well, Flint was the guy, like the UK guy. Like Flint was already like the main guy for like half of the world.
Yeah. So
making that shift was no big deal. Plus, they were kind of pushing the Don Johnson, the new guy. Can't remember what his name. The Green Beret. Give me a shotgun.
Plus, they also had like characters that like they had Jinx and stuff like that, which was just
and then all Cobra a
ninja in a outfit like that. And hey, I'm just saying, you really know it's geared toward boys when you guys do that type of thing. So,
but yeah, there's still comics for this too. You can get the miniseries for these, and I think there's some firsts in the movie one here too as well. I mean, apart from like Unicron, which again was a pretty cool idea, a whole planet transformer.
General Hawk, yeah, that's right. Ultra, they did do General Hawk there too. Well, I was saying is they already had like. With him, at least there was backup people like Flint and stuff like that. Where
I mean, the crew was so large.
Yeah, it's so big.
But nobody's going to follow like Ironhide. It's like, oh boy, Ironhide's running the show now. Like, come on now.
Well, he had Roadblock. I mean, he could have done it.
I'm switching over to Transformers, saying after Prime.
That's what I was saying. There was nobody for Prime when Prime went there. Like, if Marco cries, he almost shed a tear when Prime died, but I didn't cry.
That and who was it? Judd Nelson? I think Judd Nelson voiced Rodimus.
No clue.
I think it was Judd Nelson who voiced his character. I don't know. Going back on my memories here, but that said, I think we got one more thing hitting comics today, which might actually be a little bit of a spoiler. So if you haven't read the most recent issue of Daredevil, I guess come back in about 2 minutes.
I think this is a clickbait. I'm going to put it out there. I think this is a clickbait title. I don't think he destroyed him. We'll debate it. But I don't think he destroyed him.
He didn't destroy him, but yeah. So in the most recent issue, today's issue, even though I wasn't able to get it, more on that later.
Ultra says it was Judd.
Kingpin. Yeah. Kingpin's son, or I guess his newly revealed son, Butch. I forget his last name. Anyway. He took down Hammerhead.
Butch Ferris. I think it's.
Yeah, I think it's Ferris. I think you're right.
P-H-A-R-R-I-S or something like that.
They don't show it here. But he takes Hammerhead's eye.
Does this remind you? Because like right now in this run, like Kingpin's he's kind of like wussy in certain portions, which you don't usually see him. He's like mayor. His illegitimate son kind of is like the old school Kingpin here, where like he took the eye, man. He took the eye, which is kind of awesome out of Hammerhead. He also made a joke like, hey, you must like. He made fun of everybody saying that like they're idiots because they keep hitting you in the head. Why would I hit you in the head? I'll hit you in the throat, and then I'll take your eye out, which is pretty good.
It makes sense. He thinks through things practically.
A lot of people are talking about this series already and reading this series. I'm
just behind on reading, but
I am too. I was too, and this was when I started catching up on because everybody said how good it was.
Yeah,
you had the Miller run. Which is good, but like since then, Daredevil's kind of.
You had that Kevin Smith that everybody loved when Kevin Smith
is okay.
Did those 8 issues or whatever it was, and
I'd rather watch his He-Man show than read that again.
I like Brubaker's run too, but I mean, there's a couple times when they got a little too Law and Ordery, I guess so. I want to say it got a
But
little.
this one right here, I think, is a little bit more. This is more like, oh, like Shadowland when they did Shadowland. That's
Okay.
kind of the more stuff that I like. Oh, when you're doing the Daredevil stuff. So like this is kind of a little bit darker like that, kind of like the Marvel Knights type stuff.
Yeah, but I'm showing the issue 13 because that's the first appearance of his son, Butch. I think he first shows up in 13 of this current
and I
run.
think 29. 29.
That's where you get that reveal.
Oh, yeah. That one. That's a cool color.
Yeah. That's, I think, where we find out that he's possibly his illegitimate son, or he is his illegitimate son.
He's like joking around with Matt Murdock, and they somehow say something or another like, your dad, da-da-da-da. Yep.
Yeah, so definitely interesting. So those books are probably in shop. So if you're interested, you think there's legs to this new Kingpin? Because I think there might be. Like, again, like you said, Wilson has gotten a little soft just playing mayor, I think. So maybe it's time for him to step aside.
Well, he popped the dude's eye out, man. Like that in itself is pretty dope. There is some weird, not to give away the whole thing, but there's some weird bullseye thing going on with like the bullseye group too, but whatever. And then like the relationship between, whatever.
Yeah,
it's still a good read. Still a good read, and eyes popping out is always a good thing for a character to do, especially in one of these darker titles. So I'm in.
Yeah. So to wrap up our news portion, I like to do a little LCS report, but today can't do nothing for you, man.
So this is interesting. Because like Penguin's just around the corner, bro. And it doesn't seem like Diamond's pulling the same stuff they have for a very long time now. I'm not gonna say anything because some people we're talking to this weekend, but like, how do you not get your shipment in on time?
Yeah.
Like, how don't you? Because it wasn't one or two. It was a bunch of places that didn't get their shipment.
It was a bunch. It was staggered in my area, apparently. The shop closest to me, they're not getting them till tomorrow. Another shop I sometimes go to, they got them late. But then my buddy's shop, the Comic Relief that I've covered the last 2 weeks, they did get their books, but his shop's far, so I didn't drive all the way to his place today. But he did get his books today. So it's completely, like, not random, but
I wonder what's going to happen with Penguin. I think it's going to be better ship. I mean, I know a lot of the dealers or the LCS owners really want better condition, but honestly, I think a lot of the people that go to LCSs just want your books to show up on time.
Yeah.
I don't care, man. If I can show up to work on time, you can have your books there on time.
Yeah, on time and preferably not destroyed. But
let's just check off one at this point. Like,
yeah, on time is key.
One is on time. Like, let's stop getting off with it. So, and by the way, on time's yesterday. It's not on Wednesday. You know what I mean? Like, what? It's not today. Today's not on time. You screwed up so bad, you're not on time. And by the way, I mean, they do a terrible job of tracking anything anyway. So who cares? Like, most of the stuff gets out. Everybody with a diamond count tells you what's in the books anyhow. It's not like you're giving away secret. I mean, like, just get them there on Monday, for crying out loud.
Yeah, well, that's when the shop I went to today, that's when he got alerted, like, finding that his books are going to be late. He found it on Monday. He got an email saying, by the way, your books are going to be late. Oh, thanks. Thanks for the heads up. So while I was there digging older stuff, every person who came in, he had to tell them, I only got DC.
Hey, you shipped me a couple Rennavision things at the con. A couple people came up, hit me up. I gave away a couple stickers for Rennavision. Look, we can. If me and Pete can make it work with shipping, how can't Diamond? That's
exactly
dumbfounds me. Just baffles the mind. I don't get it. But yeah, no, that's cool. I mean, that sucks, but they're out the door anyway. So don't let the Lord hit you, or the good Lord split you.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? But yeah, so we're done with the news. Done with the news for now.
Oh, do we want to talk about cons, or do we want to get into some other things?
We could do your. If you want to get to your pickups,
Ruben, we'll get you a sticker. Ruben didn't get. You never sent Ruben a sticker. You give him all the other stuff. You never.
I was only putting him in with the prizes at this point, and then I sent you the rest. All right. So I got to do another sticker order.
I'll send them out. So I'll do a couple. So there's a group of us out there. I just gotta say thank you real quickly to the people who put on Gem City. Bill,
the Matrix for your pickups.
Bill and Jamie, and definitely Roger. They do a great job. They do a great job with a lot of shows. Indianapolis, they do that con. They do some over here in Michigan. They obviously do Gem City there too, in Dayton, Ohio. Dayton, Ohio is like 4 hour, 3.5 hour drive for us. Wasn't bad. We were, like, okay, we're just going to go because some of the cons we're not going to be able to attend this year. Plus, we just kind of wanted to get out and go to some cons. So I did a couple of the pickups. Most of us got similar stuff. There was a lot of good dealers there. We were surprised. It seems like, and somebody asked this question, it might be true. It seems like some of the dealers were holding on to stocks to show off to sell at the cons. There's pretty good deals. We stayed mainly. We brought home like over 700 books, probably like somewhere around 15 slabs, and probably in the 20ish range for toys. So across the board, there's a little bit of everything.
Like I filled up like my little shoulder bag going to like a con. I've not brought home boxes.
Yeah, well, so we went with empty boxes in the first place, but we weren't planning on doing that there. We were planning on going in, the night before, the day before, during setup. We got a lot of friends there too. Brad's Comics is out there. Thank you very much, Brad from Brad's Comics. Check him out. Comic Collectibles on eBay. Keith from Daggett's Comics. We talked about him before. He's great too for especially a lot of the modern stuff. If you want to buy sets, if you want to buy like the variants, he does a great job. Very affordable too. Check out Daggett's Comics. Those guys were taking care of us. And then we got invited to the convention stuff, like the dealer stuff later for a dinner. And they hosted this dinner for us, which was amazing. But we were like, okay, we'll go there. Then the next morning we'll wake up and all the dealers that didn't set up will hit up, Saturday morning. Then we had a hit list of local stores that when we're ever in the area we want to hit up. We got a list of them and stuff like that, some smaller places and some bookstores and stuff like that. And then a toy shop. And then we were going to leave Sunday morning early. We didn't leave till halfway through the show on Sunday. Like, we were still finding stuff. It was crazy. It just really was crazy. So for some of the stuff, hey, what's going on, JJ? For some of the stuff, I did a couple pictures. And then we'll choose, guys. You got to choose between one or two. I haven't filed everything away.
While you're showing the pictures from the things, in the chat, pick one or two.
Because I still got two storefolios full of stuff that I haven't even gotten out yet. But just to give you these were in the dollar bins. Just like rows of this. It's just crushed. First appearance of the Lobos thing.
Yeah, but that was an incentive.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I know it was crazy. I'm not even showing you all this. So up to through Masters was dollar bin. The bottom half, it was Ghost and Planet Comics were in the dollar. Then Bishop on were in the $5. And it was $5 for First Sinister and First Omega. We'll talk about some of those books later.
That Dave Stevens for $1. I'm so jealous.
Yeah, I know, right?
I did not pay $1 for mine.
Yeah, I mean, it was just crazy. And then we obviously were negotiating. This is mainly what was in the $5 stuff. And it's at Collector Zones. If Roger's anywhere and you see his boards with $5 stuff, make sure you're digging through his bin. He usually has pretty healthy stuff in there. Usually like 50, 100. We got some good books out of there for $5. And he's got runs and stuff too. Up into the Spider-Verse
down there.
Yeah. Actually, the Wonder Woman was in the dollar bin, to be honest with you. And then Shirok Heck, that was actually a dollar bin fine. And so was the House of Mystery. But all the rest of those, like the Wonder Woman strapped onto the bomb, was a $5 book.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Miracle Man. I mean, he doesn't usually give you deals on the $5 books. It doesn't matter. I think we spent probably,
you're already getting a deal at $5.
Yeah. I mean, you can't complain about this. But these were some books that my friend had pulled too, and I wanted to talk about because some of them don't know these. Joe Q did a lot of books. These were dollar bin books, by the way. These, well, they were technically. So this guy named Earl is technically $2 books. Thank you, Earl. I doubt he turns on the internet to watch any of this, but then after you stack, which we did, which was probably a long box, he negotiated down with us. So did everybody else. I mean, they had dealers come up from Tennessee, like this guy Charles. That's interesting. I'll talk about that story maybe a little bit later because I can get people's opinion on it. But so these are the Joe Q's 1 in 50s that were going through the Revolution era. They also had the 1 in 100 sketches, and actually a guy by the name of Sleepy John. I don't know if people know who he is. Sometimes he goes by Yanni. Had even gotten like the Silk 1 in 100 sketches and stuff like that. That was going out there. So I think between all these, we wiped them out of it. And it's not something everybody looked for. Some of these 1 in 50s were found, by the way, on the third day because people were just going over them, like flipping through them and missing them. Now there was a ton of boxes, so I'm not saying whatever, but there's always that guy that's pushing you and elbowing you and flipping through real quickly, and he knows everything. He's the best flipper in the world. Yeah, well, best flippers in the world aren't always as good.
That's why I'm never intimidated by, oh, you showed up late, everybody found everything.
And I'm telling you, dude, there's some good dudes like out of the Midwest and the South. There were some of the best there, like dudes that have been around, like the old guard dudes that have been around for a while and know a ton of stuff. And still, you know, I mean, I get lucky. I get to go out with like people like Sleepy, and I get to go out with Smith, and Smith is, by the way, I've seen lots of people dig. I've never, and he even goes, he's like, oh, I'm not that good. He's digging this out on day 3. Like, I've never seen anybody dig as good as him. Like, you can call it luck, you can call it whatever you want.
It's a mixture of everything. Yeah. It's a mixture of, well, luck is part of it, but it's also just awareness. Like, you just have to be aware of books what it is. What you're flipping past.
Two. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of 2s. Well, I think it's box 2.
Box 2 is going to be the heftier of the 2 boxes. I'll throw this one in because I won't. This is actually technically on top because it's not on. It was on top of box 1, but it wasn't. So I got for $30.
I'm going to go tiny. Yeah, you're showing stuff.
For $30, I got the whole Vias for Vendetta run, like all of them, in decent shape, as a matter of fact.
Not bad.
Like really decent shape for the whole set. I'm not gonna pull it all out. Got that. And then I got, and actually I'm gonna give this first one to the kids, but still, it's the Justice League Adventures. These were the kids' Alec Ross covers. These were like the $5 books that they were giving. Oh, you saw this one, but we actually had found multiple copies of this in the dollar bin. This Kang cover for the Avengers. If you see this, make sure you pick it up out of the dollar.
Is that $129?
Yeah, $129 it is. I picked these up out of the dollar bins. The What If with the Spider-Man and the dark suit.
Oh yeah, yeah. I just talked about that one on the dollar bin recently.
Did you? Yeah.
Not saying that that's one you're going to find, because you usually don't find that, because that's one people usually pull.
Found it in a dollar bin. This has got, I can't remember who it is, but this one's got, it's more Alex Ross, but also got a first appearance in this. So we're keeping that one. And if I remember, I will tell you All-Star. That's who it is. It's All-Star's first appearance. I put it down there.
From the Snorks?
No. I bought this just because it's glowy. There's no significance to this at all. And I have to show it because the guys are making fun of me.
Is it foil or is it the chromium shiny?
It's chromium.
Okay.
Chromium. Hey, so it's a chromium book. So I bought the chromium book because it's 99 or is $1, and I don't. You know, sometimes when you're digging for hours, you just get bored too, and you're like,
yeah,
hey,
that's fun.
Hey, why did you hot potato the book? And I got stuck with the hot potato. This was not. This is, speak of it, Bill out of Canton. So Bill's Comic Collectibles was also there. He's ornery as he always was. Great dude. Make sure you check him out. I'm not going to tell it. I did a package deal with them, but it wasn't cover price for that. But I did pick up the Thanos 13 for a good deal. The electricular cover.
Oh, okay.
I also in that got the 509.
I like that cover.
So all these, I got the Power Pack 1 in high grade.
Oh, yeah.
This is all the Bill pickup. Wolverine. This one, the incentive.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I like that one.
And then I got 2 more books, which I won't, or must be in the other pack or maybe later. And for all that, it was under $60, I think. So that's not bad. I don't know why I bought this book. Besides, she's on it and she's fat, and I think it's hilarious for $1.
Is that that's not the Great Lakes Avenger, is it?
No, it isn't.
Just another big character.
Yeah. Just no. You're talking about No, wait. Time out. That's Pink Pearl. But either way, whatever. This for $1. Picked it. You know, first one, Calypso. Number 2 for Alpha Flight, because I couldn't leave it alone, because maybe in this one you'll see what else I picked up. But number 2, Alpha Flight.
But because we talked about them recently. Going
this
over
is the one where this is the one where Heather takes over. That was $1 book 2. Doom covers. So it's gonna make some people mad, but I've been buying good older Doom covers.
Yeah.
Interesting point. Let's just make sure. Even in the 70s, newsstand wasn't as rare as.
Oh no! It was more plentiful.
Yeah. But that was in high grade, so I grabbed it. Here you go. So I grabbed number 1 too. This was $5. Collector's Zone once again. Make sure you guys Roger does a great job over there, so I want to thank Roger for that. And then for $1, like, I mean, I'm saying $1, but you got to remember we bought in bulk, so we lump it in. So I went and got some of the McFarlane. This is
I do
one,
the same thing.
but it's a
If they're
McFarlane
not
cover.
chewed up or like water damaged, or destroyed, if it's just a nice copy for $1, I have a hard time leaving it.
And I told guys you could find these under $20 last time. Collector's Zone again, $5 for that. So first Speedball, and that's it in one. I hope that. Hey, what's up, Wookiee Father? I hope Chromium significant. I hope that. I mean, I guess I could go through the other one if we had time, but I didn't want to bore everybody with a whole bunch of nonsense. I think like those are just some. You know what I mean? We showed you a little bit here, a little bit there. We're not pulling out. We're not going to do the whole like. Let's pull out slabs and blow everybody's hair away. But like for that type of stuff, that's what I'm saying. Like that type of stuff was in $1 and that type of stuff was in $1 and $5 bins, like all over the place. Like, yeah, the stuff I bought from Bill, I had to pay $60 for, but to get like, I mean, I always try to get that Psylocke cover, which is getting more and more expensive, especially to get it really nice like that. And, that Wolverine, the head cover, the homage.
Oh yeah. The
Good luck.
Crime Suspense Stories 22.
Yeah, Crime Suspense one. Dude, it's jacked, dude. I know there was also some Alex Ross stuff that people had bought, and I think Sleepy had got himself was it the Alex Ross with Justice, Young Justice or whatever. There's the black cover.
Young Justice or the Justice Mini.
The Justice one with the what's her name on the front? The black cover with first appearance of sorry, it's been a long week because I came home to flooding and tornadoes. But yeah, I mean, like that's it. The second stack. Well,
we can do it next week.
Yeah, we'll wait till next week. So I'll pull these ones out though. Like, so these were the rest of them. Like I did, like the McFarlane. Like everybody always goes after. You saw the other one, but like these
Ghost Rider,
Ghost Rider McFarlane. I mean, come on, man. Like
he draws a good Ghost Rider.
Yeah, for like stacking it on when you're stacking out your books for your 50 cents. And to be honest, everybody was pretty much making a deal there too. On top of it, especially if you're buying in larger amounts. If you guys check out the Sunday show, Star Wars, we're gonna do 2 weeks of stat stuff too because we got. I'm just looking over here
because we missed you this past Sunday.
Yeah. The internet was out here, so. But we'll do 2 weeks of that too, and we'll add some more toys in there. And there's something really. There's two things Star Wars.
Jedi will tell you. We went a little off the rails this past Sunday.
There's two things in Star Wars that are rare and hard to find that I found. The question I have is I was at one dealer though, and we dig in groups. Like usually it's 2 or 3 of us dig together. We've known each other long, so we don't have a problem with it. We like always share money, like I trust the guy with my wallet, trust him with all my cash. I don't care. But like sometimes we'll split up to go like, hey, they just laid out, a new dealer came in, go check out their stuff real quickly. So it was my turn. So I had like a stack about that big, put it down with my buddy.
It was your turn to be the Ranger. Go out.
Yeah. So I went out to the Ranger. In the meantime, I got stuck at that box is digging, which is a sign to him that if I didn't come back, do what you're going to do and then come back, So he did. So the next day I show up to that dealer and that dealer was like, hey, Marco, like you had a big stack. You didn't buy anything from me yesterday? I was like, yeah, of course I did. He's like, no, you didn't. I said, yeah, I did with, he's like, oh, you put them together? And I get it. But like when you're buying 100 books, like, does it matter? You know what I mean? Like, and we do it a lot. I just don't know if that's on me. You know what I mean? Like, he's a dealer that we know, but we don't know. Like, he's not. We weren't out drinking with him at night. We were out drinking. Like a lot of these guys, we were out like drinking with at nighttime, or whatever. But he wasn't one that, or eating dinner or whatever like that. But he wasn't one that was. And I was just wondering, like, was I out of place for that? Was I out of pocket for just like naturally assuming with a dealer that I don't deal a ton with, just to marry my books in with another group of books? Or is that like, I mean, what we're not talking like, we're talking maybe the bill was like $300-400 and we got like $40 off, you know what I mean? $30 off. So like 10%. It wasn't like some crazy number that we were going with there, but I actually kind of felt bad. I was like, usually it's something we do. I just don't know if people are down with that or if that's something. So maybe the chat can help us out with that too. But yeah, man, I don't know. I usually just dig alone. Oh, you dig alone. You're not a pack.
No, it's because I don't have no idea how long I'll be, and I start to feel guilty if I'm digging for too long. And like, they might be done. I'm like, well, I'm not ready to leave, or I just want to be able to just do what I'm going to do.
You still have to do. No, we all are independent, but like we know each other well enough that it's just like if I have one friend that I know when he's going to eat lunch, like because I know it's around that time he's going to go. We ain't gonna see him for an hour, but you go back and forth.
It's got to go to the bathroom now.
Yeah,
you should go too.
It's funny because like there was one of the guys that we're with was like, I was digging through and picked this out, and like I missed it because I put it back because you were jibbing. Because I get to a point where I get funny too, like where I just start pulling crap out and going like, what is this garbage we're buying? I'm done here, and then move on. Yeah, like this, I'm not buying this junk. Just joking around, trying to keep the mood because you're on your feet. For some of us, we get there, 2 hours before opening, and you're on your feet till pretty much close time. And we don't that's why we turn it up every night because that's part of the problem too. Though I was slow. The second day I was picking my nose, dude. I could have come back with a lot more, but I was sitting there making fun, going, "Why are you going to this dealer? We see him all the time, picking my nose." And the dude just keeps pulling books, and I'm like, "Oh, it's about time I start finish off your Pedialyte. Let's go." So Pedialyte's on the road, man. Pedialyte's the best, dude. I'll tell you that. I will tell you that saves me a lot. So anyways, cool stuff. Make sure you do check out the Sunday show. I know I wasn't there, but I heard good things. I actually watched it twice, so I will give a full recap and hand out punishment next. I mean, saying JJ, you knocked it out the park, JJ, is a little bit over exaggerating what happened on that show. I wouldn't say knocked it out the park. Guys did a great job, though. It was really good. And actually, I usually fall asleep during pop stuff, but Jedi did a great job on the pop stuff.
He did.
Mm-hmm. All right, so what do we got next? We got the top 5 covers, villains, X-Men villains. X-Men villains is the theme this week, so
we can roll with that. Let me get my materials ready and give.
Which I was trying not to show off in any of the pickups because I was trying to I stuck to it a picture, but
don't give it all away.
I could give it.
All right, simple, quick intro, but this time we are doing. How do I add this to here? Give me
every day.
All right. So what do we? Oh, I might be a little too busy with that background.
Maybe. Well, we'll fix it.
These two together. It's still a lot going on. All right, there we go. Go on a nice generic one. All right, so if you didn't know, when we do get to our tier list, which will be, I think, maybe next or soon,
next,
these are mostly going to be the villains, the X-villains. So we figured we'd do the covers and not do variants, but we're just doing top 5 covers featuring X-villains.
Too many variants.
I kind of tried to do it as close as I could to their first covers. Is kind of where I was going, at least with my angle. And I'm not going to overdo it. Last week is a top 5, and I still threw out like 10. I'm going to try to keep it under control here and just keep it to 5. So, first one's a little bit old, but I felt the need to put it into this list. And this is X-Men 32, which is not Juggernaut's first. It's not even his second, because his first was in 12, his second was in 13. But 32 was his third appearance. Now I know you're going to say,
right? Is his first cover?
No, he was on the cover of 12, so it's not his first cover.
Okay,
but
cool.
The reason why I put that, because you look at the prices for 12 and 13, it's not a cheap book at all. You're talking a few $100s, like to get beat copies.
Yeah.
Like it's not an easy find. But this one, people kind of ignore a little bit. Not to say $94 is cheap, but come on, a 10-cent,
under $100
for under $100. That's not too shabby for an early X-Men book. Just saying. But that's kind of why was pointed to this one. Again, it's his second. Well, it's not his second appearance, but it's his second story.
Yeah.
Like 12 and 13 was like a back-to-back episode, and then this is when he came back, 20 issues later. So I thought it was an interesting book.
That's a good book.
Yeah, so keep an eye out for it. Now, my next one, again, we know Sabretooth first appeared in Iron Fist 14, but this Mutant Massacre storyline is where he hooked up with the X-Men, basically, and became more of a Wolverine villain more than anything. And then 213 is the first cover where these two are going at it. So that's why I decided to go with this one, because I think they first went at it in 210, or is it 211? I don't know, somewhere in that Mutant Massacre storyline. And I know everybody loves Wolverine. What is it? Wolverine 10, because that's the first, like, story-wise, first time they meet or fought, or I don't know. But I don't know. This still happened a couple years earlier, so that's why I like this book. Plus, it's just a cool cover.
It is.
I mean, you're right in there. This is like John Wick style. Like, the action's like real close. And this one is what did I put in there? Yeah, see, you can sneak this. $7.50. Somebody won this at auction. You can sneak this book for cheap.
That's a good book.
Next, a book that's gotten forgotten about. It's gotten forgotten about because they put him in a movie, and a lot of people weren't happy with Oscar Isaac's performance as Apocalypse, which it's not Oscar's fault. That was just a badly constructed film. But even though he first appears in 5, 6, I guess, you know, I don't know if you want to make that cameo full. This is his first time on the cover, so that's why I decided to put X Factor 6 here. Because Apocalypse is still a big X character. You know,
what is this going for now? You said drop back down?
A little bit. This one, I mean, it's $61. It's starting to creep back up again, but it did drop for a while.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, they did drop below 50 for a good long while, whereas when that movie was at its height.
Well, think about it. I mean, like, when you think about top tier villains for X-Men, like, he is a tier villain for X-Men. I mean, plus I hope they do Age of Apocalypse right one time.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe eventually in the MCU. Yeah, maybe 20 years from now, you can go and see it with your grandkids. But other big tier, you know, top tier X villains is another one who doesn't get enough respect. And I was waiting forever. They kept teasing him, movie after movie, tease after tease. I just watched New Mutants finally just the other day, and again, another tease. The Essex Corp, Mr. Sinister.
Yeah, so this is the thing. Like, I know Magneto, right? Like, you think Magneto, technically, historically wise, supposedly a big villain, but how they portrayed him through the generations, I don't think they can use him as huge, enormous villain anymore. And even at that, even the storyline,
he's so closely tied. He was led the team for a while. Like, yeah, the history's too deep.
This is one of the books we picked up out of the dollar bin that I was trying not to mention. We got a couple of these. But Sinister, when you get Nathan Essex, a lot of ties between people. Same thing with Apocalypse. They both have huge ties. And when you think of, like, full squad baddies that are always bad, those are two guys that are top five X-Men baddies. Like, I mean, like, legit. And
yeah, this isn't his first. His first was in, what was it, 220? 221? One of those. It's got that Havoc cover. But this is his first.
Havoc's die, yeah.
Yeah, but this is his first cover, and I think his second, like, appearance. This is where he comes back when we start the what was that? Inferno. I was going to say, what was the crossover?
Plus, this is the first time you actually see what's her name, McTaggart, as the Goblin Queen. Even though
Madeline Pryor.
Yeah, Pryor. But I don't think she's the Goblin Queen inside of this book, but she is on the cover as it.
As the Goblin Queen, yeah.
Yeah.
It took a little while for them to make that shift.
That's a lot of leg for a cover, huh?
A little bit.
There's a lot of skin
definitely high up on the side, but yeah, I mean, this is still, you know, it could be like a $20 book. 8 bids on this too, so this got a little bit of action. Just yesterday, this was July 27th, so just yesterday, this one went for $20. So that's a good dollar bin find.
Yeah, no, yeah, nice. Eric is asking, are you talking about Archangel technically a villain because of the Horsemen of the Apocalypse? I don't think we qualify it for that.
It's kind of tough. I mean,
I'm talking about guys that didn't switch back and forth. You know what I mean? Like, really, like, when I think of villains, I don't even think of Magneto. I mean, I know he is, but, like, it's been so many storylines where he goes, I think, like, the major antagonist villains, you think about Apocalypse. You think, well, maybe I do, because I mean, I just love Age of Apocalypse, and then all the stuff with Essex, like,
I do too. Both of them. I'm
like,
big fan of both.
The Cable stuff, the Hope stuff, is he the reason why there is the mutant? Like, all that type of crazy stuff is, like, I mean, they're two of my by far favorites, so maybe I'm a little bit
Yeah, and Eric, to get to your X Factor 24, I'm actually going to talk a little bit about that, but I already filmed the video. It's going to drop tomorrow. I've forgotten first. I get a little into Archangel because
excellent.
This stuff got me thinking about it, and yeah, I didn't put it in here, but I'm still using it.
No, I love Eric. I love the cover too, man, and good to see it.
That too. This is a good cover.
JJ, you're right. They screwed it up. Those Fox movies I'll just watch because I love X-Men that much, and man, do they stink. Especially the first series of X-Men movies. It's just that I won't watch that anymore, to be honest with you. It's just multiple man. They did dirty too, but okay.
Yeah,
so what do you have next?
They did with McDreamy or
who's that now?
I forget. One of the Grey's Anatomy guys played multiple man, and
who's what now?
Hey, I got a lot of information in this old noggin here.
Yeah, you watch a lot of chick shows, bro.
I do. I don't care. I have no qualms about it. I do. I think our last book. I think that was 4. So we got one more, which is it's Omega Red.
Yeah, that was another one we kind of snuck in there. So this is why I was picking my nose. He's getting this book for $5. He goes, well, don't you think this is a good book? And I'm just like, why are we? And then I look over and I was like, man, dude, I hate it. Rogers has such good books. Anyways.
That's $50.
Oh, jeez. Holy manolis.
This is $50 these days. Yeah. Everybody's just hoping he's coming. He's like another bound to be their character.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. I like his, and I didn't, but I like his second cover appearance.
Oh yeah, the one I put in the thumbnail just to kind of a little bit tease. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the issue 5 is the better cover.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But I also like 7 too. I got 7 sitting next to me.
Yeah, 7's good too.
Split face between the two.
There's some good. I like Clement.
Yeah, well, I'm also a big Jim Lee fan, as you know,
or Jim Lee
shirt will also tip you off.
Well, during the Chris and the Jim Lee years, I think X-Men mutants as a whole, you got Perez, Chris, and Lee. That other clown who can't draw feet and too many pouches. I mean, even his characters had to be redone so that they were better.
Silvestri had a good run too before. Yeah,
Silvestri was pretty good. Is pretty good. He was all right. But not like Chris and not like Jim and not like
no.
Perez.
And then the Kuberts or the Cuberts, however you say their names, they just kind of did their best Jim Lee impersonation for a while.
Too. Yeah.
And then they completely switched it up when they went to Joe Mad, which I know a lot of people don't like him, but I like Joe Mad. I like the anime style. I dig it. And I think it was a welcome change because I was tired of seeing Jim Lee knockoffs that were not up to snuff. It's kind of like the X-Men movies from Fox.
But that's what Sylvester did, right? Wasn't Sylvester that was doing the Lee knockoffs there for a while?
He did it first.
Sylvester did it before Lee?
Silvestri was on it before. Silvestri was on the 250, that cross cover and that stuff. Yeah. Like Jim Lee came in like the 248 was his first, but he didn't really start picking it up till in the 260s. And then he had a couple of the Psylocke
the
Mandarin bit, and then especially when they got 270s and all the Shi'ar stuff, and then he really ran with it. But that's it.
Derek's storyline. Fox, what did you say? Yeah, the Fox stuff with Logan, JJ. The Logan Fox movie was good, the last one, but it's like too little, too late. It
was, but it was also kind of it was good by comparison to the rest. If that was the only Wolverine movie I got, I would have gotten a little mad.
Metal Wolverine in that or something. Whatever. Okay. Up next, we got the tier list. We're not going to talk about Fox anymore. Bury that.
We'll be here all night just babbling on. All right, so what do we got to do next? Tier list?
Let's do tier list. We got 21 in the chat, guys. And girls, thank you very much for coming. We appreciate it. Please give us a thumb up if you could. If not, we've been sticking strong between 21 and 25. If you don't like us, please tell us. But
tell us what we can do. A thumbs down does us no good if you don't tell me why. Just saying. All right, tier list.
Keep having. Thank you, Ruben. I think I lost that shirt. We might need to take new pics.
Sure.
The one that's in the picture.
In that picture.
So tier list. Let's set up the tier list. Do we have the tier list set up?
Yeah, I got it here. Right.
So it's going to be. This is part 4 of 5 of our X-Men Adventures tier list. We do have one last one, which is teams. We were debating doing it. I just didn't have enough time to get it ready for this week. I'm sorry. I just got internet back like at the end of yesterday. So
Yeah.
anybody out there that's been in the storm, sorry to hear it. Hopefully everything works good. We will run through these. I will switch this time. We will start off. By the way, chat, make sure you're participating because you can decide not.
Yeah, you can decide where some of these guys are going.
Magneto in the cartoon XMen animated series. Where do we have him? Is he a superior, an A B, a C type character, or is he trash can? Magneto. As far as villains go, I think he's superior tier in the cartoon. I mean, they did the old version of him, they did the young version of him, they did the mad version of him. He's
I don't think you really argue that.
No, anybody debating that? S plus.
I don't think we can.
You got an A and
we
an
don't
S
have
plus.
a plus these days. We just got S.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. We will have story time later. Pete's going to pick the story time, so we'll see how long that one goes. So if you stick around for it, or if not, catch it in the replays. Marv, good to see you too. Okay, so S tier on that.
We got one
Now,
A in there from Ultra.
I think this character, Purple Man, in the cartoon, probably was as D tier as it could be. When I
don't even remember him in the cartoon.
Oh, it was bad. Isn't in the early ones on with Jubilee and stuff like that.
What was he even doing there? He's not even an X.
He was in 2, actually. Yeah. He was a New Mutant villain.
Was he?
Wasn't
he?
Yeah,
that's right.
Because of the mind control thing. So I don't know.
I just think of him from Alias. That's why. I mean, he made such a big thing with Alias, and then the Jessica Jones show. Obviously with Tennant. But
Eric, what's going on? So the Jessica Jones one was really good. I thought it was like, I was worried of Jessica Jones. I would put him in the trash can as far as
I'm not. Like
anybody wants to say him from the trash can, please do try. But I don't think we're gonna.
Yeah, if you want to take him out of there, hopefully Jedi, you're not saying B for Purple Man.
I would hope he wouldn't.
I think we're just on a delay. Like the chat's a little bit delayed.
We'll go in the middle here. So, oh man, this is gonna really throw me off. We'll go. How did you put you put these in order of like some of the best?
How you listed them? You gave me a list. I just went down the list. It was easiest that way.
Okay. Juggernaut. What tier do you have Juggernaut in the tier list? As far as the cartoon goes.
It's hard to separate cartoon from
B.
You think he's B?
I have him B. I mean, I have A. Juggernaut as B.
I was going to say A just because I like Juggernaut. But again, I have a hard time separating
the two of them.
The two of them. Like I'm thinking, was it Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends where Spidey had to rip the helmet off of him? I keep thinking of that, but I know that's a different cartoon that doesn't go with these. So I was thinking A, but
anybody that changed it up, they got trashed with Purple Man. Eric's got a B. Ruben has got an A. We're divided. We're a house divided. Somebody give us a house divided.
We need another vote from the Juggernaut. Oh, Jedi is
B.
pulling him down with you guys for now.
You had no way you've got Purple Man. Oh no, Purple Man's in trash.
Yeah, T. He was saying
Mags and T. Okay, all right.
We'll do B, but you guys still have it.
Tony's an A. It's a tweener.
We're still on the fence here.
We're tweener. We'll get it if we get another A. We'll get another A. Let's put out another easy one real quickly.
We'll hold him in B until we get that extra bump because that's where I put him down.
This is somebody I got to put up there. I actually love this character. I hate how they portrayed him on the show.
Oh, Shadow King? Big Flight of the Conchords fan, so you like Jermaine?
I like him in the books. I like him in the Apocalypse storyline. I hate him in this TV show.
I liked it in the Legion show.
In Legion was fine. No, but in this
that's what I was saying. Jermaine, I think, played him.
In the cartoon, he was terrible. You didn't even know what he was. He was kind of like a figure. He was really bad. So I think we trash can him.
Yeah, if we're going off the cartoon, it's harder to argue. They didn't really do him right. I mean, you could still see him.
No, he was trashed. It was a bad episode. It was really bad. He was really bad.
Wait, repeat. Juggernaut A. The freaking
Norwegian. Move him up to A. Move him up to A. He got moved up. He got moved. Yes, A wins. I know. Everybody's excited about A. Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of A plus, this is also a superior. He was. I mean, if you think about it, I think he was probably in a dozen episodes. If he wasn't, he seemed like it. They did the. They actually did the Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Yep.
Storyline, which was good in this one. I think you have to put him in S tier.
Yeah, no, you're gonna have a hard time pulling me off S as well. I love that kind of just setup. Like I just love the idea behind him. I love the lieutenant mini boss idea that you get by him having underlings. Like the whole thing is just right up my alley.
If they would have, yes, S for a lot of people. Everybody's putting him in S. If they would have had that play the same way, and even have like a real horseman. I mean, I know what they were trying to do, but like, I think in the movie they would have done it a little bit better. I think it would have come off a lot better.
Yeah, they were just doing too much in the movie because they were trying to introduce, too many new X-Men too, and
Deathbird. I actually like Deathbird because I am a huge fan of War of Kings and Vulcan, the missing Summers
brother.
But I must say she is not trash, but I don't think we can get her above. Maybe B minus C. I think you have to put her in the C category.
I don't remember a lot from the cartoon.
Hey, freaking Norwegian. Yep.
About her. So yeah, I can't argue keeping her down there in the C. When I think of her, I still think of, like I said, that Jim Lee run, like 275 and 276, 277. That bit. That's when I think of Deathbird. But we're not talking comics. We're talking the cartoon show.
Sunspot is also hot.
Sunspot.
Hey, Phalanx in the TV show, creepy as say it please, Pete.
AF.
Yeah. What?
Say what?
Say the name of the
the Phalanx? I thought you just didn't want to. You were worried you were going to curse when you were.
No, Phalanx. But hey,
Phalanx.
It was creepy in the TV show, and I thought it was good, but also one of those ones where it was like C. It wasn't as. It was hard to understand it in the cartoon. You needed the comic book background for the character to play out really well. So I think we have to put Phalanx in the C. Plus, she is Ultra. She is a killing machine. The comics, she's so good. Like she's that's
what's
good
so hard about doing this is segregating feelings.
Yes. In the TV show. Phalanx is threat level.
Yeah.
Yes, true statement. However,
threat level midnight.
Maybe we could move it up to B. I don't know. All you have to do is put a B there and we can get into the B tier because I was kind of on the B marker with it. I just thought the show, it was like hard to explain on the show when you watch it. It's because they're trying to do a New Mutant type thing there too, but like
they're
back part of
Warlock.
New Mutants, with Warlock. Yeah. Mm-hmm, yeah. So that's what we're gonna get.
Oh, Tony's got us. All right.
Okay, B. We'll put it. All right, I'm okay with that. Good, thank you. I was worried that people are gonna be like, you're just nostalgic, and we know
Homer.
You're homering it. Homering, whatever.
Yeah,
that's not even a word.
Not in that way.
This is going to be the debate. I know we just said that it's a character that people want to see. I think that people want to see this character because of the cartoon. Remember, Omega Red in the cartoon is like in 4 to 5 episodes and really an antagonist to Wolverine. As much as Sabretooth is, this is what I'm going to say. Whatever, Sabretooth is in this list later. So chat, I'm going to hold you to this. Whatever you rank Omega Red, you better, or Sabretooth, you better know Omega. I actually think Omega Red's the better of the two, but I'll say they're at least even Steven, and I have him as A.
That's what actually I thought you were going to argue that. That's what I was going to say, and I thought you were going to be like, no, he's a middle of the road. He's only in a few episodes, B type of guy, but he was.
No, he had some great storylines in that in the animated series. He was the. I think you could debate. Oh God, here we go. You ready to get the fan hatred mail here, Pete. I think you could debate who was the better villain to specifically Wolverine in the animated TV show. In the animated TV show, it would either be Omega Red or Sabretooth. And if you say Omega Red, I don't think you're wrong. I think you might have a very valid point, as a matter of fact. But I'm putting him in the A, and it looks like everybody else has got him up there in the A.
I think. But it's also timing, too. Like, he was a new character, new at that time, so they were...
And the story came through with it. It's pretty cool. Like, I mean, you could almost debate S, but like you got to remember Apocalypse is up there. No, I could debate it. I don't know.
You could debate S, but I only got one more S in my books.
Everybody's got A there. Okay. Well, I don't look at it ahead of time. I send you the list, and then I just kick through it.
I'm just looking at it now.
I just passed through the other S. I just found out who the other S was. All right, Great and Creed. Now, so Creed, Tat, and okay, he kind of combines with three people that in here.
They're all kind of the same. Same guy.
I think the storyline for the book is done a lot better. I think it falls in the Deathbird category. I wouldn't quite throw him in the trash can, but I think we could put him in the C realm. Maybe B. He does seem like somebody you want to punch in the face. So, like, I guess if you're gonna be a villain, you want to punch a villain in the face. Is this how we should rank it? Like punchability? Punchability.
That's a fair argument.
A in punchability. Okay, he's almost A in punchability.
That's the mark of a good heel. It's like, yeah, you might not like to, I hate this guy, but at the same time, you hate so much because of that. Like,
his character development isn't awesome. It's okay. His story's okay. Punchability A. So I think we can keep him in the C. That's what keeps him out of the trash can. I think.
All right. I think we're comfortable with C. We've got a couple of C's. Yeah. Eric and Ruben are on board with a C.
Marvin, true. Good. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it is what it is.
You want to punch somebody in the face. That's a good.
Master Mold, I think, is underrated in a lot of aspects. Okay, because he died early in the comics and everything like that. But I think as far as adventures go, because he was running the Sentinel program at one point, I think they did have the merge episode where him and NORAD kind of do like the merge thing. Nimrod. Was that part of the? I'm sorry, I'm trying to think about was that in the storyline? It was when they were going after the kid. So they did have it in there. Okay, so then I'm definitely putting him B at the lowest, A- as a plus. Either way. No,
I'll give you B. Only reason because I just feel it's just.
Yeah, now looking back on it, it's not probably as good. But like when it came out, like he's in charge. That makes sense because all the Sentinels and like he's the reason they had it. All right.
I think it's just the idea. I mean, it's that sitting too. I think it's just you don't get a lot of.
He's taking a crap.
I know, but that's what all he does. He's like, I'm making Sentinels. Like my job is. It's like the. Actually, I can't even say it's like the Queen Alien, the Alien Queen, because he didn't really have that same kind of threat.
He did. Okay. All right. Well, okay. Give him the B.
I don't know. I'm in the B. Well, you guys tell me what you guys think.
All right. Give him the B.
I'm in that B area. I see some B's there.
There's a lot of B's and B minuses.
Norwegian and Tony Ruben.
All right. Give them all the B's. All of them give them B's. All right. Up next. Oh, man. I got killed on that. All right.
Standards.
Sabretooth. B. After my long spiel about Omega Red. No, I think you could give him an A. I think you could give him an A.
I'm in the A. That's where I have him.
I think you got to give him the A. Yeah, I think he's in the A. I think it's undoubtable. Like if you're going to give Omega it. Omega, I think in the cartoon was an A+, and Sabretooth. The only thing was like the Sabretooth, so like when I first started playing football, I looked like Sabretooth because I had a neck roll. And I just always think, like, why doesn't he ever take his neck roll off, bro? Like, take the neck roll off. It's okay. You can take it off. But scary type dude. So
B.5. A couple A's.
Couple A's? Any B's?
Couple A's and a B.5 from Jedi.
B.5. I'm at B.5 too, Jedi. So I feel the B.5.
But I think the A's push him over right now.
I'm holding off on that last S because I know who it is. So we'll leave it for
that's
that.
fine.
We'll go back down to some of these other ones like Task. In the cartoons, terrible.
Boulevard Trask.
Yeah, terrible in the cartoon. I think he had more significance in the comic books than he did in the cartoon. I don't think anybody can debate it. Should we trash him? I think maybe he's
I kind of just want to trash him just for the way that they treated him in the movies.
Like, he's like this. He's falling into the trash can. So
how do you go from Bill Dukes to Peter Dinklage? You're like this two. They're not the same person.
Oh, that's right. They made him. They made him Peter.
Wait, what? What are you doing?
By the way, the Peter's best work is in the train station.
Oh, the Station Agent.
Station Agent. Yeah, I love that.
My
movie.
wife puts it on all the time, and
I
end up watching it. It's just a great little movie.
I don't know why. No, it's not great, but I love it.
It is. No. It's nice. It's peaceful.
Plus, I think it's funny how he treats the little kid, like, get out of here, but then,
yeah. I don't know. Right. Excellent job.
So is anybody good? Is it who's pushing him into the trash? Trash. We got the trash.
Okay.
Trash. All right.
Trash or Trask?
Okay, this is one that I have. Well, here we go. We know where this guy's going because Nimrod. I just talked about how he was pretty good in this one, and people were like, he's garbage in the cartoon. But I didn't think he was garbage at the cartoon. I thought he was B-ish in the cartoon. I think he's got to be above
I'll
C.
give you a B because I like calling people Nimrod.
I
like calling people Nimrod. So
yeah, Nimrod's good too.
He's getting a insult bump there.
Trask is trash. Yeah, I called him trash too. So didn't I call him trash when we first trash?
Yeah.
Either way,
subliminal messages on
subliminal. Trash. But Nimrod is what we're dealing with now, folks, and we're dealing with him in the cartoon. I don't know. He looked like one of those Play-Doh push-outs, but besides that, I think we can B him, right?
Like I said, I'm fine with the B. He's right there, that middle of the road kind of a.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, up next we've got. You guys can change it if you want.
There you go. Joe's got a B. Joe confirmed B.
So this is one that I really am disappointed with because another character that I really like, but they did an interesting storyline, which is kind of I think been retconned right now, and it's the High Evolutionary.
I thought you were going to go with shirtless Fitzroy.
No, Pirate Fitzroy. No, but the High Evolutionary, they did a storyline in this one which had like it was the kidnapping of the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, and then remember the High Evolutionary had like the man people, the animals that were like
like Man Cow and
and Man Cow was the one that supposedly saved the twins.
Yeah, like delivered
Midway. Yeah, the Midway Life and the mom or whatever. It's been written a little bit differently, and I actually like how he goes crazy and doesn't go crazy. He'd be the equivalent of the Fantastic Four's King. I think would be a good equivalent in the XMen storylines on how they were doing it. Maybe he'll show up in the C list because he's definitely a C list character. I just really like him. He goes crazy like 2 or 3 times. I wanna, with all my might, put him into B, but I can't. I like to follow the rules, and I can't, and I have to put him in C and just save. I think he's a solid C plus. If I had
C
to go
plus, yeah, I'm with you. I think he does, but he's right on that line between the two. I can see the argument there.
I mean, as a true character, he's an A. Like I like him in real life comic book character A. X-Men Adventures C. You know what I mean?
I got you. And that's what we're doing. We got to try to separate.
We get any votes? C. Ruben gave us the C. Good. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I almost shed a tear on that one. All right, so let's go for shirtless
Punk pirate shirtless 80s. Oof.
I gotta say though, okay, this is gonna sound crazy, but like if you're an antagonist,
I think that was Rusty Griswold's outfit in European Vacation when he got money.
Yeah. How many packs does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 packs and 2 nipples. Okay, so but I actually think like how he played in the storylines, especially with the Bishop stuff and stuff like that, he's B, right? Overall, is no. Take out what he is as a human character or a comic book character or relevance in the Marvel world as a whole. I'm talking X-Men Adventures. No,
I don't know. I'm still kind of in that C-ish range. I mean, yeah, I'm with Joe. He's on the bubble.
I think you got to beat him. He was pretty good and pretty instrumental in the his ass level. For punchability. Yeah,
punchability. All right, so you could get the punchability.
Eric, you can't say that it's trash. He had the big part with the time hopping and everything like that. Like, I don't know why I'm trying to say that. I don't even like him. Like, I don't like him in real like comic book life. But I think in this, he does have a very important part, especially with the time jumping and Bishop in here. He's an instrumental part. He is S tier for punching. I will agree with that. Can we get him into B, or are we seeing him? You guys are seeing him? Seriously?
Well, no, we're getting C's now. Like I said, I was on the fence for the most part. I was ready to give you the B. Then the punchability actually helped me push him to the B.
He needs a playing game, Joe. That's the best thing I've heard. He needs a playing game. Trash. All right, put him in C. Give him C. Give him the play. He won the playing game.
He won the playing game.
It's like saying that you're in the NCAA tournament, but you actually have a play-in game. We consider him in the tournament right now, but technically he's got to play like SCSU State Community College to actually get into the tournament. Okay. We got 2 left. You can see who the 2 left is at this point. So I actually thought that Hodge was super creepy in this cartoon. I remember as a kid going like, that's a bad guy. However, my hatred towards him will not allow me to do above a C. I think probably he is the CB level. He's not.
And I had him and Fitzroy on that kind of thing, but I had Hodge at the B level for me. But I think it's partly because of that Extinction Agenda, that story in those comics, they just bring me back to that.
I think you got to put him in C. If you put Fitz in C, you got to put him in C.
Yeah. I'm just saying they were both right there on the fence, and if I was going to choose between the two, I was picking Hodge over Fitzroy, but I'm fine with the C.
9.7. Those books still haven't come back yet, and I will be making. I hopefully, if everything works out, I did lose the internet, but hopefully, if everything works out, I'll be on MCM this Saturday for all the people that keep asking. I will hopefully be back there this Saturday to add a little bit of punch. Don't tell anybody though; it's supposed to be a surprise. Finally, S tier. His name starts with S. Mr. Sinister, Nathan Essex, the man, the myth, the legend. Great character. I'm glad that Fox didn't put him up on the screen. Or they kind of didn't. They do Nathan. They mentioned him, but
they mentioned him. They referenced him all the way from the.
I thought they were
going to do the Logan movies to the new.
I thought they were going to do the stupid Sinister town where he owns the castle and everybody's a Sinister in it, including.
Yeah, that would have been weird. I wouldn't want.
I didn't want them to do that. I was like, that's what they're going to do. So they didn't do it. So I'm glad.
I also didn't want the ultimate version, which was just like a thug. Like the skull-capped version that they had in the Ultimate X-Men universe.
But in X-Men Adventures, he's S tier. I mean, he's up there.
He's right there with Mags, Apocalypse.
Thank you, Joe. S tier for sure. Hey, so this is the deal. This is the tier list for those people on the replay. We could go back and correct it, but nobody's ever been that bad. I think that's where we get the thumbs down. Is in the tier list on the replay. And I can understand that, but like, just tell us what you want to do. We can change stuff around. We're pretty easygoing guys in this show.
For the most part.
That's the coolest thing. By the way, a little preview. Don't put me in full screen. Tell you a story behind this in the Star Wars show real quickly. We'll tell you about that in the Star Wars show this week.
Vader
Gonzo. A little Princess Leia chicken. All right. So that is our tier list. We'll have either guys. What do you want us to do? Tier list? Do you want us to do another Thunderbolt? We've got a couple ideas. Do you want us to go DC? We've got a DC thing.
We could, because we got Suicide Squad's coming next week.
Well, don't tell them what it is. Just ask them.
The movie's coming out. The movie.
You want us to do the last one of the X-Men tiers? Do you want us to do a DC version? I think we have a Moon Knight book still. We have to do somehow. We got to do something with that because somebody sent us pictures, and I think Astro did, and we haven't gotten back to that. Or do you want us to go off the grid and do something completely different? Maybe some
and now for something completely different.
Joes or Transformers or something that's Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
anyways, let us know what you want us to do. Hit us up in the big chat and like as of the big chat. And we'll switch to something. If not, next week will be their final X-Men one, and then we'll go back and hit up the other stuff that we missed from there. What do we have next? We've got let's see if I even have this ready to go. This is on me. I didn't test this.
Oh, this is actually a good suggestion from Jedi.
What do you say?
Oh, I went to Ruben.
Super Friends. We could do Super Friends. We have we could do Super Friends, or we could do another DC option. I think we'll go with the other DC option, but let's keep Super Friends in the back of our head. What Pete said. Yeah, well, that was what Marv. That's what we had lined up for next week. Just to give it away.
Trying to spoil it.
Thanks a lot, Pete. Because
it's obvious. It's coming. It's right there.
Yeah, I know.
Plus, you can watch it for free at home if you have HBO.
Mix it up. Good. I will watch it. I will. I'm all right. Somebody pulled out Shark, whatever, for out of the dollar bins too at that show, man.
Really,
dude? That show
got expensive too. I can't believe that book
and out of the $5 bins, dude. That show was crazy, bro. Like, if you were in Baltimore in 2016, you remember that show, guys? You remember Baltimore 2016? This is Baltimore 2016 without the CCC grading and all the like. You didn't have as many people signing stuff. Like, it was that good, man. It was a crazy show. 80s and 90s retro cartoons, we can do that too. We might have to get some people on for that because there's some of our friends like Jen and maybe we'll have JJ. If you get a timeout for what you did last week on the Star Wars show, you might come on too.
What's he in timeout for?
I don't know. He said he was going to start a whatever he said. He's going to get him to revolt against me. You guys did a really good job. I was really happy, man. Thank you. It made it. I kind of could watch it on my phone a little bit, even though it was breaking up. All right,
so we got a little off the rails to start. We got a little long-winded.
Any show I'm on's always off the rails. We're going to do story time in a little bit, and I don't know what story you're picking, but I'm willing to bet that's going to get off the rails. Probably. All right. Share screen. Let's see if I can shut the show down before I have to do that. No, July C list. That's what that says. Let's allow it, not block it. Okay. Can you see the screen?
Yeah. What? Let me give him the thing.
Can I get out of this?
And there you go.
All right. I have to do that to see. Okay. What are we? Am I sharing or no? I'm not sharing?
You were. I don't know what you did. You moved off of it.
Okay. I'm going to go back to it. All right.
There you go.
Let's share. So we're not on the A list. We're not on this key list. We're on the C list. I think we know how this goes, folks. They're not the most popular characters. The price, it's not based off of price either. We have some high price books, some low price books, but kind of characters that I like, the characters I read about, the characters I dig, that probably won't make movies, but maybe they will. Who knows? Anyways, it's the C list. First one we're going to start off with, we already talked about it. My man, the Myth of Legend, a little bit Shadow, a little creepy. Now, I know he's made, the Shadow King has made TV before. I hope that they redo him in a movie. Well, I want Apocalypse. I want Age of Apocalypse in the 90s series. So. But this book is interesting because a lot of people don't. He does look like the cartoon version, yes, on the cover. So I know I knocked that. But so I've done a new segment now called You High, Bro. And that's going to be like the higher price for some of these. Here you go. So it's about $50 if you guys get this raw and high grade, which isn't too bad for a, for an X-Men that's been around and has actually made it onto the TV shows. You could probably get a little cheaper for the high grade. I'm talking raw high grade, like super high grade. Yeah, I mean, it's tough, but you can get super high grade for about $50. I wouldn't use this type of currency if I were you because it's fake, but whatever. And now,
I would use it. If you could spend that, yes, spend the fake currency.
So I'm also going to do the low end under bargains are for comics and not tattoos. Do remember that. Like, you kind of get what you pay for sometimes, even though on this one, the low end is a little 20. And you can find this. And I found this book for actually under $20. Probably in the fine plus very, probably in like the 6-ish range, 7-ish range for under $20, which is right around where you should be getting it for raw. That's where we like to buy it at. So that is Shadow King. I like the character. I know they brought him back in the new X-Men storyline and still did good things with him. I'm surprised they're using Farouk as the character still, but let's keep it going for as long as we can. Next up, as I mentioned before, we got a little bit of Deathbird on the cover too, and it's a Miss Marvel color. I do know her more for, I had to do this because we got the Missing Summers brother there on the right, and I really like this. I mean, I like this a lot. So this is out of the Realm of Kings. This might be out of War Kings. This is out of one of them where she looks. But the high for this here, believe it or not, 20 might even be raw high grade for Miss Marvel number 9. 20 twin might even be a little bit high for this. This is something you can find in the $5 and under bins if you're lucky. If you're lucky, you can find it there. But right around 20, I don't think you're going to be mad if you buy this in high grade for $20. Cool character, and like people said before, she is like she's a badass. Except for
she is.
Yeah, I mean she's a killer. She's awesome. But once again, a little bit more tip. Flea markets are for comics, not tattoos. So remember that when you're in there digging for this comic. And if you get it for a little $10, a little 10. Give it a 10. Give it 10. 10 or below, you could get this in pretty good shape still in the flea markets and in the underbin. So there you go. Next up, we got the Phalanx. The Phalanx, interesting characters. They worked out a lot better because they're still in that like space realm uniform. And that's what I'm saying with a lot of these. I know we're hitting a lot of space characters up. The first one was a little bit different, but these two, Deathbird and whatever, because if you heard what they're talking about going into the next phase, they want more space, right? They want to go out into space more. So get these before they get going, because some of these, if they just say space enough, people are going to hear space and X-Men.
That's what I was hoping Fox was going to start doing when it was still with Fox. I'm like, all right, let's get the space. Let's get the Shi'ar worked into this. Let's get the Starjammers. Let's get out there. Let's get into this.
The two things I want is time traveling and space, because X-Men is great when it's time traveling in space. But for them, their first appearance, I buy that for $1. Believe it or not, Uncanny X-Men 305, definitely a $1 bin book, and you can get it for $1. So just so you know, that's a little bit dollar bin digging. Remember this one. Remember, that's what the C list is about. Memorize the covers. You don't have to memorize the numbers. You can go home and look them up later. You know, I think everybody's rehashing once again those same two pictures that we've seen for the last 5 years, where people say, "Hey, we'll go to the counter and yeah. That's old news."
Oh, the repricing thing.
Yeah, old news. We know that already. But what we do is we memorize covers. That way, when they ask if you look at your phone, you aren't looking at your phone. So 305, take that for $1. There you go. Now, we did not have. Was he part of the comic? He was part of the comic books, wasn't he? SDM? Or part of the TV show?
I don't remember if he was on the show.
I don't know why, but I put him here because he's actually like the love child.
Yeah, I mean, he is. Yeah, exactly. He is.
Yeah. He's Master Mole and Nimrod's. Do you like this, or is this not funny? I'm the only one that finds this funny.
I was wondering where you're going with it when I saw the slide. I'm like,
he's Master Mole and Nimrod's love child with Master Mole. Anyways, so we'll do Nimrod first. I didn't put him in here, but you got the Uncanny X-Men 191. Look at that cool cover. You got Vision like punching through Colossus.
He's gonna like rip his heart out. He's doing the Molaram from Temple of Doom.
You high, bro? So high grade. A little 20.
Remember when that book got pricey?
For Nimrod? Yep. Yeah. It's back down to about 20s. I mean, you can get it for less, though. Hey, but bargains are for comics, not tattoos. Here we go. 5 or below. You could really get this in decent grade for 5 or below. It's gone back down, which is nice. Well, you know, he showed up in the new series and was supposed to have a difference maker and stuff like that. So I think people thought it was going to be big, but turned out, got a little bit of down heat, but I assume that that's going to come, if it can get up there, it'll go back up eventually. So now's probably the time on that one. Master Mold. This is actually,
$5. It doesn't matter. Like, you're paying $5 for a book. It's not like, oh man, I would have waste. You hold on just in case. Like at that.
Yeah. These two, like when I'm putting these books up here, when it says like a little twin for the high, some people did grade these and haven't got their grade books back. When the bottom drops off of this, like good luck on that. You know what I mean? Like, you might be able to pick up some cheap slabs too. So either way, Master Mole, the other half of this relationship, X-Men 15, cool cover. Now, this isn't going to be cheap. Come on, guys. It's not going to be a cheap book, but when you think about it, look at new graphics. I don't know if these are good or not, but 8.0. So it's not like the highest of the high, but I try to give us a little something that's within reach of most people. I feel it's in reach with most people. Little $500 there, $500 bill. I mean, that's expensive, but guys, like 500 and under, and I'm talking like 8.5. Like if you're looking at it raw, what?
I said that's a nice grade for a book that.
Yeah,
old.
I mean, like I'm talking like you can get an 8.5 out of here, maybe even sneak a 9. I mean, it's rare, but in this 8 area, 7.5, 8, 8.5, maybe sneak a 9. It's about $500. Now I'm gonna go back to the mid grade. So that's the like medium area, like the 5s, the 6s, somewhere around there, sneaking into the 7s. And for that, you got like.
Are you doing the palm check on your steak, like when you're cooking?
Yeah. I didn't know how to do this. I don't know if this is working or if people think it's terrible, but you got $200 in the back pocket. You could get this. I mean, that's actually pretty interesting. It's $500 for like the 8.5, right? For a 6, which, different on inside. You're going to get cream pages instead of whites or off the whites in there. You know what I mean? You'll still get a decent cover. You probably won't have staining on it. For $200, I mean, if you're not opening it and you're slabbing it, anything under $200, I grab there. Now, low end, we're talking 4 or below.
Yeah, you're starting to get there. You're starting to get
$100 bill.
Starting to get to me.
Little $100 bill. This is an Ice Cube promo bill that they used to hang out for $100 bill, y'all. $100 bill, y'all. You can put that there. You get that around the 4s, all the way down to probably around the 3s and the 2s. Just think like X-Men books aren't anymore even the low grade and around the 2, like you're gonna get 50 and above for those. You know what I mean? Like it's not.
Yeah. No, that's why I haven't finished my runs mostly because of that.
But I think this is why I always brag about like the mid grade, like the 6, 7. Like for $200, you can get something like this. Where like if you're starting to get to 4 to all the way down to 2s, you're gonna get a lot of tearing. You'll probably get some foxing. You'll probably get there's some browning or tanning of the actual book on the inside, and you're gonna pay $100 for that. Like, just throw another one in there, and you can get something that's pretty decent. I don't know. Do whatever you want.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Especially if you also compare it to what some other people, what people throw their money at these days. Was like, well, it's a 1 per store. Something is killing the children. Like, yeah, I get it. It's nice to have, but
for the value of this, I think it's still a really good value here. I don't know. My opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. All right, so now we finally get to the birthing of the love child.
The love child.
Yeah. And I put 2 books up here, and the reason why, and I'll show it later, is why I put these 2 books, and you guys can debate. Now, this is where you start getting into the Kubrick, the Andy Kubrick Jr., the line of X-Men. But you got X-Men 52 and X-Men 3. Oh, Uncanny X-Men 333. X-Men 52 came out
Andy and Adam
first. Oh, what's that? Yep.
This is Andy and Adam.
Yes, Andy and Adam. Yes, Andy and Adam Kubrick. Yes.
I think they were doing both of them at one point.
But this one isn't with both of them. This is just Andy. And I think didn't Adam do the Uncanny, and then Adam did the.
And then he did Wolverine. That's Adam did Wolverine. That's something.
He did Wolverine. Okay.
Anyway, sorry. Tangent.
Well, yeah, that didn't throw me off at all. So 52, X-Men 52 might be his first appearance ish, and 33 definitely for sure is if the other isn't. Flea markets are for comics, not tattoos, because you could get 52 for 5 or below, and honestly, I buy that for $1 because I do. You can get both of these in good grade for $1. They're not huge books. Nobody's really going after them right now, which is kind of cool. This is what I'm going to show you. So 52. This is what he's supposed to look like. It says his name right there at the bottom. You get Bastion in there, and he's
Bastion.
This is what you see him as. Is it Bastion or Bastion?
I'm thinking maybe I'm just thinking a never-ending story.
Bastion. I don't know. Either way, this is what you get him in. You get him in like this dark cloak type thing. It does give his name. He's in a panel, and then this is what you get. You get him saying his name panel. You get him in multiple panels. I just gave you one, but you get him saying his own name the month later in 333. Just so you know. I mean, look, I buy that for $1. I bought both.
Yeah, they're both $1 books. Get both safe.
And then I threw him in because I love him. I like him. I want some more of him. I just like his whole storyline. I do kind of hate how they retcon, but like I get it. You can't have
people aren't into man cows, and
you can't have the man people like is the whatever that city was, the W city they lived in, where I get it doesn't play that well. Wondergore, but you can figure it out somehow. You can figure out how somehow, because guess what? When we do the team ups, I guarantee you that his team is probably one of the teams. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm getting like Man Beast is going to be one of the books I cover under the C list. So just a preview on that one. So we get Thor 134, which I thought would have, he's on the freaking cover for crying out loud. Mm-hmm. I thought this was going to be a way bigger book than it was. And it says the People Breeders.
I think it was for a time. I think there was a time it's popped.
Yeah, it's still not cheap. So we're saying 8.0. We're doing the temperature check again on the 8.0-ish. You can get it for a nice little $500 bill. This is an interesting fact, though. This is interesting. Like that, I'll say that the X-Men book, realistically, for that mid-grade, like the higher the mid-grade, you're going to be paying $250 for. Even though I said $2 bill. We'll see a little bit of a change here with Thor 183. So at the medium high end, you're at $500 around there. That's not out of line or out of pocket. At the 6.0, you still and hey, if you could just send me a couple $100, that'd be great. But it
That
really is.
great.
It's like in the raw version, it's probably closer to the $150-ish to $200 to get up to that 7 level, like the 6 and the 7. Like the 5 to the 7 level is probably 120 to 200-ish, somewhere around there. Where you're looking at like when you get to 4, the 4.0 or below, you're like, hey, hustle harder, hustle smarter. I'll buy it for $50. I know it's 50 cents
50.
for those people that don't know. It's 50. It's 50. I pay 50. So I pay a 50 for it. I know it's 50. We had to do that. Hustle harder, hustle smarter. Honestly, for $50 to get this book, as much as I just debated spending $100 for the XMen in the same area, I think $50 is
I'm down for 50 on this one.
Yeah. I think it is very understandable for 50 to get this for raw 50 or lower, man. I mean, like $40, $30 is what we're talking here for like a 3-4. You know, I mean, that's crazy, especially with having him on the cover. I think it's a really cool book. Hopefully you guys don't buy them all up, but hopefully you do. I mean, I don't care, whatever, man. I can't keep them all. This ain't Pokemon, whatever. All right, so that's what I got for the C list this week. Hope you guys enjoyed the C list.
G-Unit.
I did. I put a little fitty at the back end. Yeah, there we go. Good. Hey, what's going on? Either way, is that Steven or Stefan? I couldn't see. Our screen for some reason cuts off names after
we start showing stuff. Yeah, we gotta upgrade.
All right. Well, I hope you guys liked it. We'll come up with another C list next week. We'll probably portion that out too for those people that missed it, but we'll get on it. What do we have left today, Pete?
I think I'm ready for a story.
Story time. All right, let me get my book.
Is it going to take you longer than 20 seconds? Because I can give them the intro. I want you to hear the intro. Go get the book.
I want to see the intro. I haven't seen the intro yet.
All right, you want me to play it? I'll play
it. Wait. What happened to Norwegian? Kind of wife punched me. Got to get to bed. Oh, man. Sorry. Yeah, I hear how that goes. I do the wireless all the time, too. Though. Yeah. All right. Well, tell her good night, too, from us. Kisses and hugs. All right. We'll see you on the replay. All right. Let's do a little...
last bit. Our last segment. Ready for it?
Yeah, as long I might have to go...
It makes me smile every time I play.
Hilarious, dude. Good stuff, Pete. That's good stuff. All right. Let me pull out the book. Pete? What story would you like me to tell you tonight for nighttime?
I heard pray tell of a story involving something to do with, I think it was comics and a meth lab, potentially, that piqued my interest.
Yeah, so
ready for a little Breaking Bad story.
There's not a lot of meth in this story, okay? It's more about an auction than it is about a meth lab. But let me see what the meth lab story. Okay, meth lab story it is. All right, so it's funny because that story one of the guys that I was on the trip with this weekend to Gem City is the main other person. One of the Detroit boys is the main other person in the story. And he called me up and he's like, hey, there's this auction and it's like Southern Ohio, Northern Kentucky, like somewhere down there on the border. And it was like on a weekday. He's like, bro, you want to go? And I was like, there's a wing stop down there, like a gas station wing place that's down there on the way. As long as we can stop on our way back, I'm down. I was like, wait a minute. Whoa. Wait a minute. Are we coming back today or tomorrow? Because it's like a Tuesday, I think the auction was on. And he's like, coming back. So we're doing a 1 over. We're getting up at like 6 a.m., 1 down, 1 back.
Going. All right.
So I was like, is there anything good? He shows me some pictures. I was like, all right, interesting. Because they had like slabbed like 6.0. Now, this is like years ago. So this is like 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago. So they were slabbing Secret Wars, you know, the Spidey cover 6.0s. Like they had CGCs. Like back then, nobody was slabbing anything but 9/8. Like for anything before bronze, if it wasn't 9/8, it wasn't getting slabbed. It was silver and gold is what you slabbed. You didn't slab anything else. Some people would start to slab the high end variants and stuff like that. That started, but it wasn't like it is now where everybody slabs everything. And these people were slabbing all types of crap, like stuff that you didn't see out of a 9/8, and it was 6s and 4s and watered it. And so it's one of those ones where the auction was a trailer, like a guy had bought out a comic card shop, because in the 90s there's tons of card shops and comic shops that went out of business. A lot of people, they wouldn't use, like now they put them in those the big storage units that you could ship, the shipping containers. Before, apparently there was a discount on like 18-wheel trucking containers, like and a bunch of them over my time, I've always had where there's been auctions where these things have come up. And a lot of times some water gets in or whatever, and they finally decide time to go. So we drive down there. When I drive down there, we're taking, we don't know where we're going. We take the GPS thing or whatever. But it was on the phone, and they still weren't like they are now.
Garmin back in those days. Couldn't really use your phone, so you had like a Garmin.
It was no. They started the Google Maps. It was when the Google Maps started to get big. But it wasn't really up to date. And the auction was in a building that was across of what you'd say like not out here, we wouldn't call it a highway, but it would probably be a highway considered there. Like it was like 2 lanes both ways with a medium, and then there was actually service drives on both sides. So it gave us direction. So it gave us directions to the service drive, and we kind of had a pee because we've been driving. We only take like 1 or 2 stops. We don't, even though it's 5 hours, you get 1 stop and you're done. So we had our stop already. We were going there, and the GPS took us someplace. And all of a sudden, we turn right down this road, which is a service drive, and we see some like abandoned cars on our side. I'm like, bro. He's like, no, it says like 0.3 of a mile, and we're like, okay, we've been in worse. So we keep going, and we come up. It stops us. GPS stops us and puts us to take a right, and it puts us to a right, and it's a bunch of like derelict trailers, like trailer park trailers that somebody had just positioned, and like there's smoke coming out of them. There's abandoned cars everywhere, and while we're about to pull in, now it's down the road. I go, Detroit boy, do not. And he's like, yeah. We're not stopping. So as we're doing that, these cars are coming, like these cars, like full of dudes. And like, I'm talking like the LeBarons, like the maroon LeBaron is coming after us. And like, we're like, oh shit. So he pulls up, he does the slickest thing I've ever seen. He went in, kicked it in neutral to go up the hill. And then when it started to drop back, dropped it to reverse to pull. And you see him, the other car comes the other way, and he just pulls up and goes like this. Whoop. And I'm just like this the whole time. I'm like, nope. And they come and follow us, and they follow us back out to the front. And they like here, nobody else is coming back into our makeshift. There's like empty, like tires everywhere too. And you could see like something screwed up. We definitely weren't supposed to be back there. Somebody didn't. Yeah. So we go across the street, and we're talking to them. They're like, yeah, you were in the meth. Like that's where they make the meth. And we're like, yep.
That's where they make the meth.
That was it. So it was technically, we were exactly like on the other side, but it was technically on the side of like a flat expressway, like nothing underneath. So it was like 6 lanes over. Then we were there, and the gas station person, because it's right next to the gas station, because they had they had a locked Porto John. Like they had a Porto John,
but it was
that
locked.
had a lock and key. Yeah, because of the meth lab. So they had a locked Porto John, which is not something you see all the day, but they had it. It was like chained down to a pole and then some blocks. And then on top of that, and I was like, I'm not going into the locked Porto John. We'll just wait. The other place opens up in a couple minutes. I just went behind the building.
Yeah, that's kind of, that would make me a little uneasy knowing that it can be locked while I'm in there. You know what I mean?
That's a good point. Eric goes, I live in Kentucky. That sounds like Kentucky. Anyways, so we're starting off the trip good, right? We're rocking and rolling. We're ready to go. Things are going great. And we decided to go inside. We get inside, and right before there, we get greeted by a cowboy.
Nice.
Meth lab to cowboys. And I mean, I'm talking like Stetson, white Stetson, big, like 16-gallon hat. He has got the boots on.
Do you have chaps?
No, he was wearing
No
blue
leather
jeans
chaps
and
on the
blue
front of it?
jeans and a tucked in like button up. But he did have the
the bolo tie.
The bolo tie. He had the bolo tie, and he had like a belt buckle that was like this big, which is
a WWE Championship belt buckle.
And I turned to my buddy and I go, if kids listen, turn them off now. Motherfucker, you got me stuck in a meth lab. I had a pee behind a building that had a locked Porto John on it. And now we're at a cow auction. Find out where the bleep we're supposed to be. So he's like, oh, dude. And, you know, he takes me well. You know, we travel a lot together. So he's like, oh, fuck me. He's like, just go talk to him. I'm like, sir, we're probably in the wrong place. There's supposed to be a comic book and toy auction somewhere around here. You're in the right place, old buddy. That's good. I know. There's a lot of people asking now about, like, I'm sorry, I'm overdoing the accent. He wasn't that bad. But he's like, there's a lot of people over here asking about that. Yes, absolutely. This is the place. You got the right place. You just go park down over there and you come over here. We'll do all this and that. I'm like, you're the auctioneer, huh? He's like, yeah, how'd you guess? And I'm like, because you're talking like an auctioneer. Like, he's talking fast. And I was like, we'll be, so we go inside. He's like, here's the deal. Now you got already on this. And there's the percentage. It was like 0.30%. And I was like, what the bleep kind of, that's not how auctions normally work. Everything was off. Some lady who I didn't trust was taking our credit card information, and they like didn't just take the information. They ran our cards ahead of time, which I was like, wow, they actually got a lot of technology here. But at the same point, I was like, why are they running my card before we even buy anything?
Yeah.
We didn't get paddles. You didn't even get paddles, by the way. They gave you a piece of paper that they wrote a number down on, and it was like, just next page up. Here's your number. Next page up. And I'm like, okay. So we start looking around the place, and there's like everything. There's like, they had carded Star Wars toys. They had in box. They had posters, like all types of great posters in there. And then they had all this other CGC graded stuff on tables that were just the most, now looking back on it, by the way, probably not the most random. We probably should have bought more there, but like nothing at the time you would buy, you wouldn't even auction, because you're like, who, like I said, who grades Secret War 6.0? Like who grades, like, I don't know, Jim Lee #1 XMen? Nobody. Nobody grades that stuff. So like, why would you buy? But there was some decent stuff there too. But they had starting bids that were way too high. Like they had projected starting bids that they're gonna start off that were way too high. Plus, we weren't staying for that day of the auction. So we walked around. We're like, well, how's it work? And they're like, well, we're gonna grab a stack of books and we're gonna throw them into like a half of a box top, half of a short box top, and we're gonna auction off the box top. We're like, well, do we know what's in the box tops? And they're like, well, you get your preview time. So they take these tables, it's 10 tables, and they cut them off, and there was 10 box tops on each table, and they go through and hit up each box top, and then they'd reset.
So you got see what was in the box tops.
Kind of, you could see what's in there. You could go through it. Yeah, you go through and see, and then they start again. And they actually had full boxes too. Well, we caught on to this later, so it was way out of control for these guys. They had no clue what was coming. So they say, we're going to start off with toys. So they started, and they didn't realize that people liked carded Star Wars toys. And we didn't realize how much people liked auctions, because down there, they were going above market for like yellow bubbles. Like I remember seeing.
Oh, so it's Whatnot.
Yeah. I remember seeing a carded Star Wars character, and I can't remember who it was offhand. And when my buddy asked me, I said, that's a $100 toy. It went for $320. Like in the condition it was, I was like, that's $100, $320. And I then turned and goes,
get caught up in that fervor.
And toys selling for $300. Where did you take me? We're done. I better get my wings. So
it's a long trip for wings.
Yeah. So they go through all these toys. Then all of a sudden, while I'm complaining about that, this is what happens to me, because I get the worst luck. These posters went up, and they were like gaming / old movie posters that were actually pulled down, and like the Star Wars poster was in there. Like there's a bunch in there,
like the old folded like movie posters.
Like the old bill folds that they had pulled down.
Okay.
they mixed them with rock and roll like billfolds. So the thing went for like astronomical money. I lost it. I was just like, this is enough. So we start digging through the first load, and there's some good stuff in there. There's not great stuff, but there's good stuff in there. I mean, there was like, even at the time it was cheap, but there was like 20 copies of Super Mario Brothers #1. There was, I mean, just like weird stuff. There's some good stuff, some Bronze Age stuff. I can't remember what was all in it, but all of a sudden they're trying to do the box tops, and they're like, "We'll start this one off at $10." Nobody, not a hand went up, and I'm like, "The fuck?" They're like, "All right. Well, we'll start it off at $5." Not a hand goes up. They're like, "All right."
How many books again are roughly in these?
Dude, come on, man. They were just. It was probably like 20 books, maybe.
That's what I'm saying. Like a stack. Like I'm just wondering. Like
it was sometimes it was 15. Sometimes they didn't care. They just threw some books in there. Whatever would fit in the guy's hand, they throw there. So they're like $1.
A handful.
So it came out $1. Then it came up to $3. So they start off the next one, which had what the hell did it have in it? I can't remember, but it had something like it had like it had Neil Adams drug issue in it.
Oh.
So all of a sudden the guy goes, "All right, we'll start this one up at $1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 20, 30, 40, 60, 80. So they thought, then all of a sudden they were like, "Oh, we got something on our hands here. We got." So they start off the next one. We'll start this one off at $50, and nobody bets on it. So it goes down to $1. So they're going back and forth. Well, finally, what they ended up figuring out was like, we can't even sell some of these for $1. So we're going to sell the whole table starting off at $1. So they sell the whole table. Now, this is where our money was being made, because we're like, well, there's a couple, there's at least we could pull a lot of, like, there's one book in this box, this box, this box.
Yeah, you start doing the math in your head.
The only problem with it was everybody else started doing that too, figuring out whatever. So we start buying. We're buying tables now for $8. So now it's like 10 times. And there's no place to keep your stuff, because now you're buying like 150, 100 books at a time. So we're like, what do we do? Because there's nobody in the gallery, because everybody's standing up here because they want to go through it. So there's nobody in the gallery. It's getting crazy. And we're like, I'm buying Star Wars books. We're buying, like, as they had the original run. They had the Dark Horse stuff there. They had like 80s, 90s stuff. They had everything in these boxes was from the 70s to like 95, somewhere around there.
Okay.
So then they go, okay, next up, we've got these. It's a brown tan box like that. You can't see it. It's back behind there. Okay, anyways. So they have a brown tan box like that, and they're like, unopened comics. And everybody's like, yeah, it's Jim Lee X-Men 1. Nobody. They're like $50. Everybody's like, no. $5. No. $1. No. Nobody wants that. So they're like, all right, whole table, $10. So they kept doing this and going and going and going. So now everybody's piling stuff up on the floor. So it's good there was two of us, because now we're going like, hey, that stack's got this in it. I want it for like $8, but like go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. There's one shady dealer there.
One shady dealer?
Yeah, and what he started doing was taking out the couple books that everybody wanted in the piles and throwing them in piles of garbage. And then when everybody wasn't looking. And unfortunately, like, one kid was really wanting something. I can't remember what it was, but he screwed that kid. He actually screwed us out of the stack of those superheroes. We got a couple of the Super Mario Brothers, but there was like 20 to 30 of them, and we only got like 5 ones they missed. We got the Zelda run, stuff like that. Yeah, there's somebody playing funny money. But as it goes on, we've bought more and more tables, and I'm looking at the pile. I'm like, bro, I don't know how much we can take. And then they're like, now we're going to sell off these boxes, and it's long boxes, and there's a whole TMNT. Now it's missing like 1 through 3, but like it's got like a ton of good stuff in the back end. Like the Raphael, before the Raphael book was popular and all that other stuff. It also's got the Casey Jones book in there. So we're like, yep, we're buying that. So we bought that for I think $30. Like the whole long box. So now there's like 3 long boxes we bought on top of everything else. And we just have a pile, and we look at it. Auction's done, and there is the equivalent of a bonfire going on for our section. The guy comes up, and he's like, hey, man, any interest in these books? And we look through them, and we're like, He's like, well, I can't take them, so how about you can have them? And he's like, oh, you can't take? Sure, we'll take a couple more books. So then he must have told people we were taking books. So as we go to load up, because you had to take shopping carts outside, we're loading up and loading up and loading up. Our pile is not getting any smaller. Like we took out like we paid 30 or whatever. We're like, look, we already knew there was some stealing going on, so we're like, we kind of were watching when that guy left. We kind of just were like, whatever, no. But all of a sudden, our pile's not getting smaller, and the next thing we know, those brown boxes, we've got about 10 of them in our pile, and they're all Jim Lee XMen #1s, like just the Magneto cut. Like I
was gonna say, you get the different covers,
all the different covers. But we've got like 10 boxes, and then we've started to get like the stacks of them too. And we're like, no. So we go and what did we have? A Buick Enclave or something? We're getting at a point here where like the carts that we've brought out, the Enclave is full. Like we can't open the windows. The thing is full. So we go to the Cowboys and we're like, hey guys, out of towners, not going to stay the whole thing. Got a bunch of these boxes, brand new comics in them. We're not asking for a refund. Just you guys can have them. They're like, we can't take them back, sir. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay. All right. Where's the dumpster? We'll just go throw them out. You can't use the dumpster. We didn't rent the dumpsters. I've never before held an event where I heard you couldn't use a dumpster. So I'm like, well, what do you mean you can't use the dumpsters? They're like, you can't use the dumpsters. I said, sir, at one point we do, mind you, we at this point have now bungee corded a couple boxes on top of the car because we have no room. There's nothing we could do. So we go back to like Buckle Guy, like, because they all are wearing it, but there's one that was kind of nice because he's asking us about how comics work and everything else, and we kind of explained it to him. Because I think they were deciding if they were going to break into the comic auction market because they had passed on comic books before. So they were trying to figure out like, and it was like a merger of like 3 auction type groups because they'd never done it and they had no clue what they were doing. So we paid him $40 and he stuck us around the end. We had to pay him $40. We paid $120, including the fee. Okay, including the auction percentage premium fee. $123.30 some cents is what we paid to fill up the vehicle. We had to pay this guy $40 to sneak us around to show us where the dumpster was so that we could then start taking XMen ones. Just boxes full of stuff.
Why just Aunt Edna them? Put them on the roof like you did and just see if they just
it's
fly off down the highway.
So, but we had to sneak, so we couldn't like roll the whole cart. So I have got like, and some of these books were kind of moldy too. So I've got like, I think it's 6 boxes, 6 boxes like this, squashing them and like in our pants and stuff books going. My friend just loose grabbing like as many as he could, and we're dumping them, right? Now, I'm not saying we did this or not, but like eventually we got into the vehicle and we're like, oh, thank God, because we actually hid some of them too, because people were dumping them. Like they knew, apparently the locals knew like there's no dumpster, there's nothing. So that's why they were dumping all those books with us. But apparently they knew about it. So we're like, well, what are we going to do? We have to get to the wing spot. And I was like, we're driving for like an hour to get to this wing. It's like lube and something. If you guys know that wings lube something, it's a good bar slash.
You're always taking a weird turn talking about wing lube.
I know. Quick lubes and wing. Somebody will fix it up. Yeah, Eric says the meth heads have the monopoly
on the dumpster rentals.
But we had to open the windows because the smell. Remember, some of these had been in like
that musty.
Was so bad. And then all of a sudden there was no. By the way, the bungee cords did not hold that. That didn't hold the books on top. That was pretty much left in the parking lot. But it was like the Christmas. What's the
vacation?
Yeah, vacation. Yeah. That was off the top. That stuff came off the top. But then we had to open up some of the windows because we couldn't breathe anymore. So then books are flying. Like,
out the car.
Like we didn't open it so they could fly out. We just opened it a crack, but they kind of like 3 or 4 pages, and a couple more pages to go. Next, so we're like, okay, we gotta watch what we're doing because it's starting to get dark and comic books are flying out of the thing. We end up at the lubes. No, we didn't get arrested. The quick lube wing spot, that was kind of cool. But then by the time we were getting back, so now of course, a couple dudes ate a bunch of different flavors of wings, right? Maybe had a pop or two, a little gaseous. Now that crack in the window between that and isn't working, so we have to do 3/4. So now books are just exploding out of the car. Like, because there's a backrest of books. So now books are flying, hitting you in the back of the head. Like, it's going all over the place. Now they're going out the front windows while we're driving, and just like couldn't do it anymore. We got back though, and to be honest with you, it took us, I think we ended up getting something like,
we had 3 boxes of Jim Lee comics. That's all that was left.
No, we had 36 long boxes. Eventually is what we made out of it.
Jesus.
Most of it was loose. Like, I mean, it was just stacked to the brim. There was some crazy stuff in there. It was good. I'll tell you, is one of the best $23.36 I ever spent before. Because like some of the books we got out of there. I mean, like I said, we got some of the Neil Adams run out of there for the Green Lantern. We had gotten, there's a lot of cool Marvel stuff that we had gotten.
You managed to hold on.
The
Turtles, they didn't fly out the window.
They didn't, because they were kind of still in the box. Well, this is a problem too. They didn't have any tops. This sucked though, because the long box that they did have, the couple that we bought, they cut the tops up to make 3 different things so that they could put these $10 things in. But like, I mean, I'm telling you, like, we were buying whole tables out for like, you know,
$8,
$3. $8 was out. That $8. If it went $8, that was expensive to buy the entire table out. Like, we might have bought in 3 $8 tables. Like, the rest of it was all in like $3 table. I mean, that's why we got so many books. It was crazy, dude. It was crazy. The stuff was crazy. Oh, I got a Yoabi Jimbo, the orange cover. I got a whole stack of those.
Usagi Jimbo.
Yeah. Where he's on the front of it. Like, there was just crazy stuff, man. It was cool. I will tell you, I wish maybe we should have held on to some of those Jim Lee ones though, because near mint Jim Lee ones like 3 months ago would have been on fire. So that's
don't know why. 8 million of them out there. Well, apart from the ones that are in the dumpster in Kentucky or wherever the hell you were.
It's not that. I mean, they haven't been there for years, but yeah. I mean, we were throwing. There's a lot of stuff we threw away that just it was what it was. But yeah, I think the meth head guys probably are still hawking XMen ones. That's probably why it went up. They're like, these guys threw away all these. But yeah, I don't know.
Makes good rolling papers.
It was crazy. Like, I don't think the scope, to try to explain the scope and what was going on, is a little tough. But do know that, like, when you start off with meth and locked Porto Johns, like, there's nowhere to go but up after that. The most shocking thing, I will say, the combination of what they were grading, because I'm saying when they had graded books, I'm not talking like they graded 1 or 2 books. They graded 1,000 books. Like, no, maybe
it's
not.
Free
no, sorry.
Books.
It wasn't 1,000. That's over exaggerating. They probably graded 300, 350 books.
That's still a lot.
It was extreme a lot. And there was nothing, what, you know, everybody know, clean and press. They're great. They just graded everything. They must have gone through an Overstreet guide, and anything that said above $1, let's grade it. They sent it. They probably went down in every book in Overstreet guide that said like near mint was $100. They sent that book in. They sent in so many.
What near mint is. All right. Send this book. It's $100.
Well, by the time we had gotten back for the next day, because we didn't get back till like 3:00 in the morning, but we woke up to go because they were selling mystery boxes. By the time we got up for the next morning for the mystery boxes, like, people had caught wind of this, and those mystery boxes were going for like $50, $60. And we got a couple. They had good stuff in it, man. They had really good stuff in those mystery boxes. Like, you know, mainly like Bronze Age, late silver, Bronze Age DC and Marvel keys, which for $20 back then to get a whole box full of them. And we're talking like 20 books. They do a medium, the medium priority mailer, the square box.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You can fit like 50 or 60 books in one of those if you pack it.
So yeah, what they did was they take the tops. We couldn't see what any of them were because they already had numbers, and we're like, where? They're like, we actually listed these online. They did, but what they did was they took all the books, put it in there, and you pretty much got to see like the top book and whatever else. Like, for people who complain about shipping, bro, this wasn't the auction for you. You know what I mean? But like, to take a risk on that, it was pretty good. And from what we heard, because we had told a couple people about it too, they were like, people pulled out some pretty good stuff from that. Some, decent mid-range, well, some early X-Men, some good Spider-Man run, like the Miller runs and stuff like that. That was one book that we actually got screwed on. They had the Punisher book on the table. It sold, the table sold, the box top was one of the that was the one that was probably pretty expensive too. That one I think sold for $30, and it wasn't in that lot. And it wasn't in that lot. Somebody had switched it out of the lot. And it definitely wasn't the guys running it because they didn't know. So but yeah, that's I don't know. I don't know if that's as good as a story as the last one. I can't remember what story I told you.
Yeah, because if everybody gets to flip through these boxes, I was wondering about that. You just take the book and I'm going to put it in box 8 at the bottom. Nobody will know, so I know to buy box 8.
Solo, it wasn't a table; it was a whole long box. But yeah, so that's was that. We didn't get killed.
What's this?
Man, there was some crazy stuff in that. Oh, we also got magazines. So we had a whole run of we ended up getting a whole run of Wizards. Oh, people didn't want the magazines. Yeah, so like all the Wizards, we ended up getting a whole run. We didn't lose those, luckily. There's some other
heavy to fly out the window.
Yeah, there's some other off-brand crazy stuff like what's that? I probably still have some of them. What's the one
where the magazine Hero?
No, the Turtles did the thing. It's Future whatever. There was a magazine that Laird and them did that had what the hell's the name of that character? He's like that robot-y character, Futuroid.
Gizmodo?
No, it's like Futuroid or something like that.
Futuroid or something.
Yeah, like got a bunch of those. Those did well. I mean, like we covered all of it. Well, I mean, we also didn't stay at a hotel, so we covered all of it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Futuroid.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. Got a whole stack of those. You know, it was pretty fun, man. Like there's some crazy stuff in there. You just had to dig through. I mean, it's been too long for me to recall every single thing that was in there, but
well, yeah. I mean, it's a few years ago now.
Well, it was fun. Plus, I think the mold got to my head. Like we were almost, dude. It was so bad. And then, I mean, honestly, after the wings, it was like over, dude. Like we couldn't even open our front windows though, because what would happen, they would start, it'd start hitting around and everything like that. I don't know, man. It was a messed up thing. I was glad I did it. It was fun. Glad it worked out for us. But I just remember paying $40, going like, I can't believe we're paying this guy $40. We only spent, so we technically,
we're paying this guy $40 to show us a place to throw away things we just bought because we can't take them home. Or didn't even buy. That people dumped on.
Yeah, some of it we didn't buy. Some of it people were just throwing on top of like that. That's on them though. They were throwing on top of us, and now we know why, because we got wasted and we had to pay $40. So I guess $173 for everything, because you got to factor in the $40 for paying for a dumpster. The guy actually told us to go throw them in the meth lab. Then he told us to go throw it. They were like, we can't go back over there.
Yeah,
that's what we're gonna do. Like take trips.
Comic books at them.
Yeah, that's a go well. Then he was like, they also locked the dumpster at the gas station that was next door. So he told us, like, if we go down, there's another gas station, and we could just, and we're like, really, you want us to drive like back and forth like 5 miles to throw comic books away? Like, the guy felt for us. So that
take a load. You can dump a whole carload of comic books and come back. And
no, JJ, we didn't get atomic wings. There was a rule about how spicy we could get the rings, because we did have like a 4-hour drive back, or 3.5-hour drive back from the wing place. So you couldn't get atomic wings. That was a no-no.
Yeah, it's one thing to go take a leak behind a gas station near a meth lab. It's a whole nother to have to take a dump behind a meth lab. You just don't want to be caught in that situation.
The wing stop is not by the meth lab, but yes,
I know. Well, I'm just saying you might pass other meth labs on the way.
You never know. Yeah, it was
you never know where you're going to stop.
That was an interesting one. That probably was the. No, I've had some interesting experiences in Baltimore, so it's probably like the second most interesting. I will say I was surprised that they were selling comics in there.
Cowboys selling comics.
Big old belt buckles too, and they all had like big hats. I don't understand the hat thing. They were a little bit out of place. They were trying to go like, who take it down, $2, $5, $5. Everybody, they're like, listen, dude, just go 1, 3, 5. Like people just started saying like, I'm only paying $5 for the tape. It got rowdy. Like they were trying to keep it.
People just yelling it out. $3.
Eric's still confirming there's more than one meth lab in Kentucky. Yeah, but that was it. Like they because they just didn't know where to start the tables at, even so people eventually towards the end, people were just like, look, man, Is anybody gonna pay more than $5 for this table? Nope. Okay, I'll take it for $5. And then of course you'd have some jerk sometimes going like, well, I'll take it for $6. Dude, either take it for $8 or don't take it all, because nobody's paying $10 for a table. So it was either you paid $1, $3, $5, or $10 for the table, pretty much. 8, 1, 3, 5, 8, 10. 1, 3, yeah. And not a lot of one. Like whenever it was 1, somebody would be like 1, and somebody would. There's this one guy that every single time 1. Okay, he'd go 2. As soon as somebody would go, I'll pay you $1 for it. $1 going once, going twice. 2. $3. Go more than 3. Go more than 3. 3. Going once. Going twice. Going more than 3. Going more than 3. 3. Once. Twice. Okay, sold for $3. And you're like, the guy was going, if there's junk, why are you raising this guy up $1? Like, so you could bid on something? Same thing. 5. 5. Going once. Going twice. Anybody? $5. Can I get 8? Can I get 8? Can I get 8? Can I? Because they never said. The guy would be like, 6. And then somebody just go, $8. I'll give you $8. Stop it right now. Like, get out of here with it.
Maybe he was maybe that's the thing. Maybe he was a plant. He was one of the auctioneers. He was to aggravate people to get them to anger bid.
Yeah, anger bid a whole $1. You anger bid from 1 to 3.
Well, because he's never going to pay the 6. So all right, that's what he gets
6?
paid.
He wouldn't pay $4 because the guy would go 3, and then after that he's like 5, and the guy wouldn't even raise him up to $4. He'd only pay him. I'm out. Too
rich for my blood. $3.
Rich for my blood. That's it. Oh man, dude, it was Pete. I wish I had videotape of how crazy this thing was, and they lost it. So they had the best intentions, but like when they started figuring out, like they eventually moved it down where they just took 3 tables, and they just like start slamming books up there and going like, all right, table, all right, table, all right, table, and they like because they started going like, okay, lot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and they went sell. So then the backside, they'd start taking all the lots that didn't sell, fill up the tables, and then that became too much. So then they just started going, hurry up, guys, table. So you'd run from one side to the other side, like this table, $1, $3, $5. Do I hear $8? Do I hear 10? No 10. All right, $8, $8.
$8 it is.
So, anyways, that was it. That is crazy. And by the end, I think they kind of gave up on it too. I think they thought there was more money than there was, and then eventually they just were like, get these lunatics out of here.
Get these guys out of here.
Yeah.
And all these books.
Yeah. So
they couldn't take the smell either in the trailers.
Well, the one big guy came back and they're like, why are you selling all tables for $3? They just paid $12 for that table. Let's split it up again. And the guys were like, really? You want to split it up again? So then nobody would buy.
You want to be here all weekend.
Except for $2 guy would go like $2, and then it would get up to $3. And then he's like, okay, forget this. We're going back to whole table. Because they didn't understand. It didn't matter. It wasn't about quantity. It really was about like what was in the stacks. Whatever, man. So that was that. That was fun.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It was definitely interesting. I'll tell you that. I would debate if I'd do it again.
I don't know. That seems like it'd be a fun time.
Everybody says
apart from being chased down by Vin Diesel and Fast and the Furious and the LeBaron trying to close off the meth lab road.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I wasn't scared. It was one of those situations where you're just like, man, this can go bad.
This is just going to be an inconvenience.
Yeah, and it was like the second car, like. It probably wasn't as close as I thought it was when they're coming to shut it down, but it was pretty close. It was one of those ones where you're like, thank you very much, because that could have gone much worse than it did, man. It really could have gone much worse than it did. So we just got on the expressway highway thing and took off from there. So it was not like, it was not Bo and Luke. Yeah, it wasn't. We actually didn't speed up while we were making our getaway, because there was there must have been seven guys in LeBaron. Well, we also don't startle the wild animals. You know what I mean? Like, probably if you're peeling off and screaming out of there, they might think something's up and you shouldn't.
Yeah, then they get anxious.
Yeah,
they are doing something.
Yeah, so we kind of took our way, nice and easy. Everything was smooth. Got our way out of there. We were probably a mile into it, but
Interesting.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. I gotta say, we haven't been to many meth parks. I guess you'd call it a meth park, right? It wasn't a meth lab. We technically weren't inside the trailer parks. It would be a meth lab.
Yeah,
Like you knew something like 3/4 of the way in, you knew something was wrong because it's like burnt out. Like some of them,
mini meth mall, maybe.
however meth works. I'm not an expert in cooking meth, but apparently you can blow shit up. There's a lot of shit blown up. Like you'd start to see trailers that blown, like the fucking sides blown the fuck out of it, the tops on fire. And I mean, I don't know how they're putting out these fires, but it didn't look like a professional job.
Well, no, you don't want the
tires half on fire. Like
they're putting them out with Jim Lee comics is what they're doing.
Yeah, probably now they are.
XMen 1.
A meth compound. Is that what it's called? It's called Eric is their official meth corrector, so it's called a meth compound. Okay, fair enough. Don't want to. Not a place I'd probably go back to. I didn't watch much of that TV show that had to deal with the science teacher and meth.
Yeah, Breaking Bad. Oh,
but okay, Breaking Bad. Yeah, but I have a feeling that nothing that they showed on that TV would compare to the experience that I had with meth, where it was like, yeah, you knew there's no science teacher hiding back where they're cooking this stuff up. Like you knew you were in the wrong. There just was no place. Like they had closed off they had made it so there was like one road. Like people are like, well, if you knew if you start to see burnt down stuff, why don't you just turn? There's no place to turn around. This ain't like these boys are like, hey, dude, come on down, buddy. We want you to just turn around. They they didn't think that somebody would accidentally the Googler would take you down the wrong road. This isn't like a park and play, no gas station here. This isn't a road that you want to go down. It just was like, it was bushy and kind of offbeaten. If we didn't have the GPS, we probably wouldn't even found the road. We just weren't paying attention enough to know. And then once you're in there, there's like no way out. This isn't like, hey, there's a bunch of roads so people can get in here and have a good time. No, this is like they controlled this whole area. And
don't forget that they are cooking up meth, putting out their own fires.
Yeah, putting out their own fires. They have their own security squad. Like, this is not for the general public.
It's a world unto itself. It's a fiefdom.
Very much. Yes, I agree. That's what it was. So we got caught back there, but we're alive. We didn't get shot at. Well, I've only been shot at cons. I've only been shot or threatened to be shot at like one time, Baltimore. That's it. Well, I think twice in Baltimore, same weekend though. So, I mean, like that's not like, that could happen.
That's a story for another story time.
Maybe. All right. Well, thank you everybody for showing up. Make sure you subscribe. We're almost at 900. So Pete's gonna give away more stuff.
We're almost there.
Check out all the shows on Pete's Rennavision. Star Wars Weekend's fun. That's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah. Right. And I guess we're gonna
Pete, I don't have the exit. I don't have the exit out.
I got it. We'll see you guys next week.
Next week.